Hello, welcome back. Oh, no, 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 it's not meant to be playing now. Oh, no. Welcome back to the Metro Grid. My name's Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is May 31st, 2018. Final day of May. How are you all doing? George Ross, how's it going? Hey, how are you doing? It's gotta be said. It might be apparent. If I like move my face real close to the camera, the lighting goofs up and it looks like I'm really shiny. It's hot. It's real hot here. And I just had to close all the windows because we talk real loud into the late hours of the night. And I'm not going to be a dick to everyone around me and might pass out. Legitimately might pass out. This feels more of a stunt than the blindfolded Netrunner, all that other stunting we did. So, I don't know, man. It feels terrible in here. Let's be honest. Can you pronounce plague? Yeah, I love your Wizards and now the Bali Corp unboxing. Glad you like it. How's it going? I think I said it right. Honestly, don't know. Yo, Jamie, how's it going? Hey, that's an Andre. Nutritional Zero, what's up in this preparation? Not exactly sure what that means. How's it going, though? Mad Dog, what's up? Was in the background and got scared by all the old no's. Oh, no. Yeah, we, something played. Also on YouTube, what's up, Pikmin? Happy to watch a stream as I'm making new decks. What are you building? What's good? You said it right? So proud. I don't feel like I did. Plague. Oh, every day conquer one of your fears. Today we said a word, so that's pretty good. Add fortune, so much content, can't cope. It'll be around forever, right? Like, it's not like the Nalabali Corp side was a new content, so, you know, you don't have to watch it that quickly. Yo, Laniel, what's up? Howdy from Brazil. How's it going? How are things down in Brazil? I've heard that said before, the fact that we traditionally designed the map, so like North America and Europe are on the top, and then on the bottom we put like Africa and South America, makes us think differently about the world. So how's it going up there in Brazil if you go the other way? I think that's wild. Again, it is May 31st. We got some stuff tonight. Remember how last week we tuned in and we had an idea of what we were doing that week. We're like, oh man, we're gonna have a good week for you today. We prepared and we had a really cool deck, I'd like to say. And we it's not the case this week, so that was too easy last week. We were flying by our seat of pants this week. I think we're gonna be building some trap Argus deck with Mwanza City Grid because I'm pretty enamored by that one. And we also want to try a brain damage deck, so let's try both of those. Yo, Steven, what's up? I hope this title is a Starship Troopers reference, A+ film. I haven't seen Starship Troopers in such a long time. I just know something about I'm from Buenos Aires and Nuke 'em all or something. It probably wasn't. I make the YouTube titles really quickly. What am I missing? It's very humid in Montreal. It's always humid in Montreal. It's legitimately the worst. Ah, man, it's rough. Really don't like it. Made on. Hey, Andre, you make the Australians Friday morning my best pro of the week. Hey, good morning in Australia. That's super cool. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you're going to have a good Friday. That's a good day to start your day off with some streams, I guess. Chaotic as fuck, a truck driver strike made the entire country enter a state of chaos. So no gas at stations, fodder at the supermarket, and so on. Holy shit. That sounds real bad. How are you holding up in that? It's just all the transport shut down, so like that seems like an issue because food and stuff like that. Steven says, I'm so sorry about the humidity in Montreal. Posted from Florida. Yeah, I don't need your sass, man. I'm struggling here. Don't delegitimize my experience. It's not great. Fellow Aussie, we will rule the chat someday. Hey, it's good. It'll come up. Pride Month starts in 4 hours. Oh shit. Wait, June is Pride Month? I'm not actually sure I know when Pride Day is. I guess every city has their own. But hey, June's a good month. My birthday's in June. June's generally a great month. Oh boy, Streamtime Paglos, how's it going? Jester, stop trying to make my brain damage happen. It's not going to happen. It might not happen. It almost always doesn't happen, but we continue trying it. There was one stream where we did 6 brain damage to someone, or actually we did 5, and then Marcus batted and then end the run subroutine because sometimes we goof it up. Still wearing sweaters in Vancouver. Man. That's the best time of the year is between where it's super stupid hot and super stupid cold. And for Montreal, it lasted like a week. And it was last year. Man, that's all I want. Things got bad for a while, but we're probably getting better soon. Hey, good to hear. That's really good to hear. That can't be fun. Here's a stream that never memes. Memes that makes you want to bust my seams where it comes. I want to scream and stream. It's a very cute poem. We're starting today with the deck list of the week like we normally do. This one's called Snow Fort, and it's from someone named Jono. It's an HB Architects of Tomorrow deck, which is something we might be doing more of today if we want to get into the brain damage stuff. And funny enough, I brought this up with our good friend Patrick Sklar, who was on the channel. He'll be on next week, and he was on basically every month. And if you remember last time Pat was on, we were trying to make work. Maybe it wasn't even last time. Maybe it was the time before that. But we were trying to make work. He was trying to make his triple shipment from Tenon next design deck. And I talked to him and I told him I don't really like the deck. There was a lot of problems with it. Back in the day, there was a lot of runners running all the time. There's a lot of Valencia, a lot of mining accidents and stuff like that. And I told him if there's anything that might make shipment for 10 better, it's probably put it in Architects of Tomorrow. Because specifically, if you run against Architects of Tomorrow, they get their free ice reses. And you'll see a lot of runners kind of turtle and sit back and not want to run a lot. So this is what it looks like what the deck is doing. It has no real tricks to it besides Bifrost Array. And funny enough, this deck is probably firing Bifrost Array to get CFC Excavation Contract, but there is a new agenda, Remote Enforcement, that just came out. Oh, actually, this is not Fire Chrome, so this won't do the shortcut. But this is a cool thing. You can fire Bifrost Array. You can fast advance that out with none of the fast, I guess, with shipment from Tenon. And you can score out, get a lot of money. You can sometimes even just get the sort of corporate sales team, get 10 credits, and that's pretty good. And we have a lot of really standard stuff here. It looks like we're going to keep a server to put our Adonis in. And actually, Architects of Tomorrow is pretty good at making multiple remotes because you res that ice for free a lot of the time. It says stupid humidity over here in the UK too. Kitchen was horrible. People were throwing up. That escalated. Oh shit, I hope everyone's okay. By kitchen, you probably mean like a professional kitchen, not your home kitchen. That would make more sense. I still think HP should get a 4-2 agenda that becomes a 3-2 if the runner has suffered brain damage that game. Would be in line with faction identity, would support a mechanic that hasn't felt love, and would nerf the ever-present stim hack. That's actually really interesting. I wouldn't be that upset about it, even if it was maybe like a 5-2 and every time he did a brain damage, it became one easier to do. So eventually it became like a 2-2 if he did enough brain damage. I think that's a really cool idea, Steven. I'm down for that. Playing at local meta loves brain damage, always gets me down to 1 or 0 hand size with damage and defective brain chips, but can't seem to do that final kill. The final kill is always the hardest push, right? And it doesn't matter unless you can't get the final kill. Mad Dog, how are you taking, by the way, that much brain damage? Is it all that one advanceable trap that I keep forgetting the name of? Yeah, you can also do corporate sales team for sure. You can always get 10 credits on this, and that should usually be worse than CFC, but a lot of times you don't control what agendas you're scoring in what order. And we do have preemptive to shuffle things back, and this is actually a pretty good card. Interestingly enough, we're also not running any of the new cards. In this last pack, we got, we also got, what's her name? Wardem Fatima, and we're not playing that either, which I don't want to try out, but we can't change this deck just yet. So let's dive into this. We have all Biroids except one Satyr Adaptive Barrier, and having all Biroids is also something in my testing has proven not to be great because runners can just click through multiple Biroids in a row, and if you have 2 Biroids, they generally break one and click to the other. So it's always good to have end the run subroutines. Eli 2.0 is also not a particularly great ice, but hopefully we'll be resing this for 1 credit. So I'd actually push for more Satyrs because this ice is actually really good. And having only Biroids generally doesn't work out. One of these windows is the one we want. It looks like it's this one. Oh man, the heat is kicking in. Let me tell you, we're gonna get a bit weird over the stream. Oh yeah, work. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Satyr's life. Yo, what's up, Dan? How's it going? Self-modifying code in the chat. How you doing? Satyr Adaptive Barrier. I thought you were talking about the ID for a second, and I was a bit I don't like that one that much. But yeah, Satyr Adaptive Barrier is such a good barrier. RSN, how's it going? Biotic plus self-defense chip would be very fun with that agenda. Never mind, wording wouldn't work. Biotic plus self-defense chip? Oh, when the win scored ability. Yeah, I don't think the self-destruct chips has a win scored ability. I think it's just like a permanent effect. Not the ID. The ID is trash. Yeah, I don't love the ID so much. This is called Snow Fort. I don't even know if the name has to do anything with it, but we'll try it out. I think it's under HB. Has Biroid Architects Tomorrow, right? Yeah. All right, let's go. Woo. Cerebral Overrider, that's the one. They love Tempest. I'm a very reckless criminal runner. Oh, you just gotta pay a couple of traces. Today also is like a really big deal in terms of Netrunner. We're gonna get to the news section relatively soon. Once we play a couple games with this, and we'll talk about it because today is a big deal. A lot of new cards came out today. I was kind of expecting, and I don't want to say that like it maybe sounds like we're we're dissing on the lovely Jinteki people. But Kampala Ascendant will be up really soon. It's always weird that we're streaming on the day that a new pack comes out, but we almost never play the new cards on the basis that they're not just up yet. But considering these cards have been out for a while, and considering how great the people that make this game are, I hit that number again. No, stop it. That is an issue. I have no doubt that they'll be coming up soon. Man, we add that new graphic and then we run it twice by accident, which is pretty good. I mean, it was best icebreaker here is Hyperdriver. Yeah, Beth is even like such an issue. All right, we're playing against Jamie. I know what Jamie's up to. Architects of Tomorrow might get weaker with new pack. Might be see more DDoS around. I could see that too, but also I think Steven having a way to res your ice for cheap is really good against the new Siphon, right? Because you save a lot of money. At least abstractly, right? Let's get 1 second to set this up. So this is Steven's Knife Juggler deck. It's on Netrunner DB, and I know what he's doing. And it's a deck. Let's spoil it a wee bit here, but yeah, JNM devs are the best. Dan, what was that? No, it's fine. We'll get to that. He is running Quetzal, so barriers are pretty good. It doesn't really change much when we're playing specifically Biroids, because you can click through the Eli and the Quetzal. It makes our Satyr look dumb, but we only have one of those, so joke's on Jamie. But generally, Jamie's running Lamb, which is really good because a lot of our ice has a lot of subroutines and Knifed. And I think that's most of the pressure that's going on. I think there's some Maker's Eyes and stuff. This hand's just not great. You generally always want 2 pieces of ice as Architects of Tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure there's a Mining Accident coming down. So doing ice credit, just to keep our credits up, is probably fine. Putting an Adonis in a remote server might be fine too. We're gonna mulligan for sure, and that's really good too. If they're running Knifed, if they want to make our ice like Lamb, it's gonna make our ice a barrier, and they want to break it with Knifed and trash it. Architect is actually perfect, and this is on another ice that I realized is in our deck that is not a barrier, or not a Biroid, excuse me. So that's pretty good. Jamie's deck, not mine. RIP that one Satyr Adaptive Barrier. Yeah, right. That one barrier is gonna be pretty rough. But that's okay. I don't think it's not like we're running a deck that's like a Wayland deck with Ice Walls and Maromatis and Vanilla, so we'll be okay. And our opening hand is actually okay. We have 2 fast advance pieces, so if there's any turn that Jamie doesn't run, we could in theory fast advance out of 4-2. I don't think that would give us that much value, but I think we just want to ice everything up. And Ravana is a pretty bad ice until they run first, and I think they probably want to poke our central servers. I think there's some Dirty Laundries in this deck maybe, so I think just ice R&D HQ. I'm more worried about R&D pressure somehow against Anarch. That might not be true anymore. It's also a shame that this is not a Biroid, so we're not gonna get a free res on it, but just keep our credits up because this ice is actually really expensive and we have no economy in our hand. Eli 2.0 is always rough. Yeah, this one can be rough. So Jamie's gonna go for the inject here, hitting the casts, the laundry. So we did call the laundry, and there's the surfers. And surfer kind of makes the big servers bad. So if we want to get more value out of that, we can put this on the outside of our servers. We want to put our barriers on the inside, I mean. Double laundry for 6 credits, and there might be a mining accident coming out here. So what else do we know in the hand? It's just a cast. So I think we just know that there's another inject in the grip, and the surfer got thrown out. And the way that they're going to be getting surfer back and cards from the heap, there's no more deja vu. It's all going to be based off of our friend retrieval run. So icing archives also has a lot of value. With 8 credits and 2 coming in, if we want to get this Adonis going, we'll probably have to ice it up. And I think we can probably do the slow play here, where we can just ice up this with this. And I know if they res this, they don't have to deal with it because it has no subroutines, but it lets us res another piece of ice. If they pop a DDoS for this too, which I don't know whether they have that or not, we'll probably be fine. So we just want to get our money going because our ice is pretty expensive. And we have no defensive upgrades either. So it's all going to be about like fast advancing and making them run through a remote a much. So like taxing out their economy and forcing them to run is actually really good. That's why when Double Fork was popular, I played 2 Ice IG. Yeah, right? And there's actually some really good Ice Destruction cards that came out in this pack. So there's a lot of really scary runner cards that just got printed. Be worried about that. I tried to build a Surfer Paintbrush deck once, but it turns out my roommate lied to me and you can't use Paintbrush on unresed ice. No, you couldn't. And it's a big reason why Tinkering was kind of fun. A Frantic Coding is going to hit a bunch of cards. 10 cards off the top, hitting a Mining Accident. Armitages. The Lamb is coming out for 1 credit, which is not terrible, but most of our ice is going to cost them about actually 7 to get through. And the retrieval run, same old thing. So they get through a lot of their deck. They milled a lot of their economy. Daily cast is coming down. And they're going to start the next turn with some money. I think we really want to ice this up so that they can't retrieval run it out their Morningstar, because that's the combination here. So an ice on archives is probably one of the most important things. And we actually could fast advance this. And I honestly don't think that's terrible. It would have put us down on, well, we get a credit back from this. So it would put us down on, what, 3 credits? If my math is correct, plus this. 3 credits is not enough to protect our central servers. I don't know if they'll run next turn. They might start running. Seems weird to have a Glacier deck with no NGO or Ash. Yeah, right? How much ice do we have in our deck? Because I really want to draw. I think we have a fair bit. We have, what, 17? So there's still a lot of ice in our deck. 14 out of 41. So the chance of drawing it is like, what, a bit better than 1 in 4. It's like 1 in 3. And we can do 2 draws install. The problem is rezzing all our stuff, and we want to protect this, but... beans. Fucking hell. We don't put that on archives, do we? We definitely do not. It's a pretty rough turn. If they can trash both our Adonises, it's really bad for us, but otherwise we're just clicking for a credit, throwing out a card. If we res this for free on, it seems really bad no matter what. That was like the worst dice we can draw. And it's weird that they're not playing Remote Enforcement in this deck, considering that ice is really expensive, and their deck doesn't have that much money. It seems really important that we get our Adonis campaigns going. Oh man, I don't like that. I'd rather lose the Adonis than this. How many of these do we have? 2. Okay. Let's make them go deal with that, I guess. This might not be the most competitive deck. It might not be. Morningstar and Robot Hands is very potent. It very much is. Just those 2 breakers. And I think it's going to be same old thing into Retrieval Run. So you see how bad it is. Yeah. How absolutely bad it was that we did not get an ice on archives. There's a chance that just putting the Fairchild there was good enough. So it looks like something. And we can always over-install it. But now they can break most ice in our deck for 3 credits. I want to see how much ice we have that's more than 5. And they actually, oh, they ran that turn. I think we'll go ahead and res this because their economy is pretty rough. This is Spinal Modem, and I think we have Ichis that do traces. We don't have Ichis, so no traces actually fire. Wow, this is not going to be very good. Fairchild 3.0 is the best ice we have. It's the only one over 5. None of our ice is over 5 strength. This is going to be a huge issue. Low-key is also really terrible. I feel like we're going to have a rush matchup. Ketzel deck started as a meme, but it turned out super good. I don't think this deck is a full meme deck. It's better than Scorpio's deck from a few weeks ago. Yeah, that one was kind of rough. So, we still can't afford this. I just want to protect their economy here if they get single accesses. And they're at the point where they're going to be running every single turn. So the value of shipment from tendons got a lot worse. So I think we just want to ice this up and click for credits. Again, like all our ice cost 4+ credits. I guess one if they run, it's different, but... our economy's not good. What is that card you mentioned? Something to help with econ? It's Remote Enforcement. It looks like this. It lets you res an ice for free, which means that we can go get our copy of Fairchild and put on a remote for free, which would be super good because we're running expensive ice and we never want to pay. I guess eventually we pay 5 credits for Fairchild, which is not terrible. Definitely played against this deck earlier. It was super strong. Managed to cheese a win with triple biotic fast advance of 5-3, but it was toast otherwise. And this is where this begins. Cards like the Maker's Eye, and they're going to see the next 3 cards on R&D, and then they don't have to run for a couple turns. Luckily, they're not contesting our economy, which I think is a huge mistake. Like, they should have contested this. And setting themselves up was not a problem. And if they steal the agendas off the top, it's not a big deal. This is actually going to be a fair bit of credits for them to break. It's going to be 2 off of the Spinal Modem. It's going to be 2 to this, and another 3. Like, this is actually a pretty expensive run, all things considered. And we don't have an Akawa project. I think also running Last Click and not having enough money against HB is a mistake. I don't think you ever run Last Click against an HB Glacier deck, because Akawa project you can't do. Oh, it looks like actually he's going to fire. Huh? Wait, what happened? So they took 2, they refunded 2. They spent 2. They spent 1. Oh, because they're just making it at Morningstar. Yeah, so everything's like super cheap. They broke that for 1 credit. Mastodon Magic, what's up? Rarely catch those live. Cool channel. Hey, thanks so much. It does chop quite a bit on Twitch, though. Wonder if it's on my side here. It's fine. I don't know about that. I think things are okay. Can someone let me know if the stream looks okay? I'm getting green bars on my side, Mastodon. It might be on your side, unfortunately. Now, the thing about the rig is that they have a lot of used MU, so we don't have to play around cards like indexing or deep dynamiting. Indexing, we don't really have to play around on the basis that their MU is, or that Lamb is really bad for running more than once. Tarmis and can you pronounce are saying the stream looks good on their end. Yeah, Dan, I'm duo streaming. We always stream on 2 channels. We're on both YouTube and Twitch. We do stream concurrently. Okay, so we know the next card on top of R&D is not an agenda. There's no real reason why we want to block archives, and luckily they lost 2 same old things, so they probably have 2 more knives. I'm not watching both at the same time. It's fine. I can watch here. Oh, well, perfect. Fantastic. And yeah, Dan, I do have both chats set up. Okay, so these are gonna be really bad. I'm assuming they're gonna be poking R&D or HQ next turn, which they break this for 1 credit. So like, I don't even know if we res this. And we just have to make them stop running. So I think the best thing we can do is like double ice central servers. This is actually the only ice they can't break, and this has a lot of value on the remote server, because if they want to break it, it's actually not that bad, right? Like they make it a barrier. Oh, they have to actually do everything. Like they cost 2, then 3. Oh, they break it for 7. That's honestly not terrible. HQ's a 1 and 5. Getting this going is good too. They can always click through ice. Man, this looks really rough. We don't have any defensive upgrades, and we're just trying to tax out their economy, and they can run once a turn for like no money. So this is gonna be really bad. The ice destruction is also gonna kick in. Luckily, we res a bunch of our ice for free. I think we just put this on R&D, click for credits, and again, like we're not gonna do anything proactive. It's very hard for us to push them to do anything. We don't even have trap agendas like a Kawa. Land breaks everything for 7. It does, but they generally don't have to do it. I think we only have 1 ice that's above 5 strength, so everything else they break in the game for 3 credits, right? They just do Lamb into Morningstar. Now, it's obviously different if we put 2 ice on the same server, and that's actually probably the way we win, because this combo only works once. Just like I said, do we res this for 5 when they break it for 1? Seems real bad. It lets us res something else. So basically we pay 5 for this and we get a refund of 4, which turns the Ravana on, which they break for 1. This is the beginning where things seem really bad. I think we definitely do have to res it. Man, this is so bad against Morningstar. 1 credit. We paid 5 for it. They're not even going to pay a real credit, right? Like they're just going to use this credit. I don't know why, but since your last stream, the Twitch thing hangs when it switches qualities after loading. I have to force a 1080p 60 source and it no longer hangs for me. That's super weird. It might have to do something with that we're now doing the Twitch beta. Let's go ahead and res this one. There's no real surprise here. Actually, this tells them what they need to Maker's Eye. They don't have a lot of recursion, mind you. They played 2 same old things, so we might be okay. And they hit the sales team? Ah, fucking hell. Yeah, we're doing the stream beta thing, so we can give them a bad pub or we can lose 1 credit. The thing is, if we lose 5 credits, we gain 6 back, and if they have a bad pub, I don't actually think the bad pub, yeah, they break everything for 1. That seems like this might matter. I guess with this it's free. Oh, I don't feel good about that. It might be the beta less latency. Yeah, sorry, that's what I've been struggling to say. It might be the latency beta thing. Yeah, I got way better once I forced quality to highest. Well, that's really good to know. Okay, if people are having a problem, that's where we want to go. So again, they break this for 1 credit, or actually 3 credits. So we can jam this in and let it go. We get to res this one for cheap. I think that's the best play we have. This is not going to be a really exciting game. You have to remake your Max 102 deck. That deck actually fell apart real hard on the basis that it lost like the best AI breaker. It lost Parasite. That's kind of what kept that deck afloat. It was all based off of like good card draw, Faust, and that was like a problem with Anarch back in the day. You just put all the good cards on one deck and it didn't matter how dumb the deck was. I don't even know if you can do a Max 102 deck anymore. Like, because all the different breakers that are now, besides the heat breakers, which are obviously nuts, all the other things need so much card support. Like, if we want to play viruses, you need to play all the virus stuff. You see, this is just what's going to happen. Luckily, they're going to only get a single axis here, and that'll be probably fine. This is what, 3 credits? You obviously want the architects on the outside, and I'm waiting for this to get knifed. I don't know if they keep going. I don't think they do. I don't think they can. I think they just knifed and jacked out, so I don't even know if that's that good. This means they largely can't run again besides HQ because they used their lamb, so that like tempo knife might not work out for them. Select a Byroid to res. Yeah, okay. Kind of shows their hand a bit here. They hit the ELP, the current. It looks like they're not on a current. They might be on levy if they're on anything, so it can be remade. I don't know. Black Orchestra is like an anchor around Freedom's neck. Yeah, and have you seen the new Rain and Reverie stuff? Oh man. Oh man. They can also lock the top of R&D, so we'll never draw an agenda. And they know they can get through this for 3 credits, for 1 credit, if they use the Spiral Modem, and they trash this for 3. So this is something we actually have to protect. I think we need this on the remote. I think we need this on R&D. I don't care about HQ. Is the old Max 102 deck shared on NetRunDB? Yeah, probably is. You can also find it on the YouTube channel if you search like the old Max decks. I think they're appropriately labeled, and all the deck lists are in the descriptions. So that gamble is going to help them a bunch. Yeah, Dan, the absence of a decoder is definitely felt. I could see that for sure. Okay, so They can still click through this. Like, none of our ice is good. I'm going to YOLO res this. 2 credits is not enough, but we can always res this for free going into 0. Did we not hit this? Oh, we didn't even hit this. We clicked for a credit. That's really bad, because then this play becomes so much harder. I thought we clicked on this. Oh, boy. They jack out. Okay, that's even better. I guess. We have no money. The thing is, every time they go through the Eli, we get a res like the Fairchild for 2 credits, which seems pretty good. I have no doubt that they're going to try and knife this. So we can res this one. So they're going to pay, what, 1 credit to see the top of R&D? And we're a deck that's specifically about ice and nothing else against a deck that's specifically good at dealing with ice. So I don't know what's going to happen here. Oh, well, that's good. We didn't want that. Whew, okay, so this one's good. It's a good one. They keep saying R&D, though, we'll never draw an agenda, and they're obviously on game point. We don't really have a play there. Like, what can we do? We don't want to play the current because it goes down to 0 credits. The current is kind of nice, admittedly. The current is really bad against 1 Dirty Laundry they still have, and I think 1 copy of Knife they have left, so that's not really that big, and 1 Maker's Eye, I suppose. It looks there's not a lot they need to click through, so this actually has a lot of value. If they played like an Employee Strike, I'd be more considered about this, and we obviously can't play any of that stuff, so it's not great. Steve Albert, Bayokin had some interesting ideas on dealing with the Black Orchestra problem. How's it going, Steve? What do you say? What did Ben say about that? Most wild card in the pack for me is 0. It's like NOS for self-harm. For self-harm, it's going to be crazy. I think enough people can just play it on its own. Like, on its own, it's probably just like a symmetrical visage with combinations with I've Had Worse and the Heat Breakers. We're going to res this for 2. So it's fine. I didn't watch the latest one yet, but Lamb Yusuf did some work. Yeah, Lamb seems cool as a splash. It's kind of hard to run with Inject, but... Okay, we can, in theory... We can't even score an agenda. We don't have enough money. Great. Alright, well... This is good. A deck that 100% wants to run every turn. This is not going to be great. You can try Force of Nature. It's a card. You can try Amina. I haven't figured out how to say one yet. Seems pretty good. Don't worry, them more CSTs for them to steal. That's true. Retrieval run for what? I guess it's for Surfer. That's going to make this server dumb. And they're clicking to draw. Like, that's a big problem I've seen with this deck. And I've seen the deck list of the draw on the deck is actually pretty weak. Now, our good ice is on the outside, but they can kind of reposition our ice to make the knife better. He's hoping we rip a 4-3 off the top. They're actually going for it. They're going to surf through this one. This is really expensive for a single axis. This is incredibly expensive for a single axis. Wait, that's not how that works. Oh, you have to break it. Oh, no. Okay, you break it after. Wait, but you still have to deal with it. Swap a piece of barrier is currently being encountered. Yeah, so you're here. You still have to do it. Do we res this? No, because then we can't score a 5-3 agenda, which we don't have. You still have to break that one. Yeah, they didn't break that ice. Broke it with the Morning Star? Oh, yeah, so they did. Whew, 1 credit. For what it's worth, Quetzal's ability didn't matter, so we win there. All right, we have a Maryland, which they didn't trash. Again, our economy is kind of weak. This is good too, because this protects the server from knifed. I think we just need to ice up everything. The problem is they can always run archives once a turn to like disrupt our shipment from tenons. I don't know if they do that. We also could have considered drawing ones because I still think we can fast events out of that point. And then we can put this on HQ. They run HQ for 1 credit. If we put this up, that actually is a bit annoying, but we're not going to be able to res it. We just need enough money for scoring an agenda. So we're going to sit back here and hopefully we eventually win. Yo, Apathy, how's it going? How you doing? Hopefully you had a good week. Welcome back. Draw credit. So like that's the thing is, oh, they didn't run this turn. Woo! Okay, no, they're getting a click back. Never mind. I talked too soon. Yeah, like this stuff is set up. I don't think there's enough backup for that. Yeah, they have to run every turn. I don't think giving them the bad pub was actually that big of an issue considering we could have res this for 2. Honestly, might be worth considering. But they know what this is. It'd be so cool if we jammed an agenda there. You keep hitting on Eli 2.0, but you can laugh at all the Quetzals. Eli 2.0 is not a great card. I don't think it's a good one. All right, we got another Eli 2.0. So it's a 10 credit server. It's 11 credit server. They break for 2 credits. Seems okay. We can eventually res this for free. Actually, that's worth considering, is that we can res this for free. And no matter what, this is going to be always more taxing than Eli. So we'll put this on HQ. It kind of looks like there's an agenda in here. And just click for 2 again. We haven't, that's what I don't love about this. We've made no cool plays so far. We've just always installed a card, click for 2. It is the deck list of the week. 3 shipment from Tenon is the deck list of the week. And they're running every turn. There's the Maker's Eye. This is probably GG. All right, so they get through the server for, I think, 3 credits altogether because they make it a barrier. They break it. They surf it. That's it. I gotta say 3 cards. And if they don't see an agenda here, I still don't see how we win. Ah, there you go. Hey, good game. That sucked. That was legitimately not that much fun. We largely did nothing. Maybe we should have shipmented out this 4-2 earlier, the one turn that we had money. Yeah, we're gonna give this another shot. But yeah, there's no tricks here, right? Like, this is all just efficient stuff and not MCA austerity policy, hoping they don't run. And I don't know how we do that. There's a chance that we need to be more aggressive because even if we can't res our ice, it looks like we can. And like, I think if we just iced up archives, like imagine we got a good piece of ice on archives. And the problem with this deck specifically is if we're trying to stop a retrieval run, is there is no good ice on archives because you can always retrieval run, click 1 and click through whatever we have. So like, no matter that we needed to stop the retrieval run, I don't think we possibly could have. And then all our ice falls apart. Like, I don't think we ever had a way to win that. Yeah, I legitimately don't think we did. All our ice gets broken for like 3 credits. I think once you build a server that's like, even that's the problem with running only Byroids. If you have a server that's like Fairchild 3 into Fairchild 3, they run through it. They still click through one of them. 5 credits total. For an ordinary Anarch, your code gates are mud. For Black Orchestra, most Anarchs would be able to run often. For our code gates, I think you click through a lot of them. I think actually we have good code gates, no? Like, these are hard to deal with. This is generally 2 clicks. Otherwise, it's what, like 6 credits? It's pretty good. This is annoying. I think you just pay 8 and take the brain damage. And this one's actually pretty good. This is usually 3 and 2, which is not that bad. You know, you made a streamer when people are making their Twitch names just to troll you. Well, sometimes you just need a Twitch name, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think against other things we'd be good. This is going to be 100% an issue. Let's try that again. Let's give that another shot. That's what I don't understand. It's like so much of this. Yeah, the deck is designed with more normal Anarchs. I have no surprise there. Yo, what's up, Tobal? But like, I don't see why we wouldn't be running a copy of just like Ash and stuff like that. Have you seen that Aryabhata tech deck that's set up on NRDB? It's pretty fun. No, I have not. Is it like a making news thing? Yo, Maui, what's up? Happy Thursday. How is the DLOW so far? Not so good. We had a pretty bad matchup. We have a lot of ice in our deck. We're playing against Freedom. Freedom is good at contesting assets that are not protected, and Freedom's also pretty good on putting the pressure on. So one of the best things we could possibly do is put 3 ice on the remotes turn, our central servers turn 1, to make sure we don't get usurped or data suckered. So we're definitely gonna mulligan this hand. This hand is not terrible, but having ice would be good. Okay, that's fine. It's making news with door to door. Okay, I haven't seen that one so far, but there's a lot. Oh yeah, hey Jamie, thanks for the game too. There's a lot of those. Any Aryabhata deck is only fun for one person. I feel you on that. Aryabhata can be pretty rough. We keep drawing this thing, and I don't think you ever, like, you're never gonna res this flat up. You're always gonna put this into a remote server and then hopefully res it for free. So what are our optional plays here? Playing a current turn 1 is kind of pretty bad. They're on 46 cards. That's fine. It's not the best thing to do. They could trash this for 2. I like getting this down on the table soon, and icing up R&D seems fun. The thing so much with Freedom, a lot of times, is that Freedom runs Turning Wheel, because Freedom has their MU used up, so they can't play. They're generally, I haven't seen a lot of Freedom splashing on things like indexing. A lot of the times they're playing Turning Wheel because they want to be running a lot. And so I don't mind opening R&D up too much. There's one agenda in HQ. This is a good card on R&D for what it's worth. It's good against Tripano, if they're playing it. Maybe we just do these 2 and take a credit. That's pretty bad, though. I think we'll draw once. All right, well, we can't have nice things around here. That's fine. Gotta do some prep for the shows tonight. Aye. Well, hey, thanks for dropping by. Thanks so much for the game. Yo, Saturn, what's up? SMC, I love your channel, your content. Can't wait to build a diversion of funds. Criminal deck. Oh, man. That's going to be the meta for a while now. There's a new pack. So they run access to Maryland and don't trash it, which is weird because what does that mean? It's like they hit the CFC off the top. Okay, that was 40% of that being bad. They got the better. Actually, this card's not going to be that good. They hit a mining accident here. If we pay 5 right now, we can't res the Maryland, so we're not going to go pay 5. I think the bad publicity is, it's like weird in Freedom, because if they're running Yusuf, it doesn't matter. If they're running MK Ultra and the other one, Black Orchestra, it's still kind of hard. I guess it lets them trash this easier. Maybe they want to run back here, but if that's the case, they shouldn't ran here in the first place. So we'll get our money going and hopefully we can ice it up. Ah, beans. Okay. Well, they might not run HQ because they did hit an agenda, but as soon as we draw, they do. And that's legitimately really bad. Now, we might have to just bite the bullet and put this on HQ. I don't want to do that. I think we might just put this on R&D, or excuse me, on server 1, click for credit, and just like grit our teeth. But I'm so scared that they're going to put down Yusuf and start charging HQ. Considering they have bad pub, it seems pretty good to hit the central servers and trash cards. Oh man, this is a really rough draw. Every turn we've drawn this by turn 2. I used to really like a Spark deck for messing with the runner's credits. Is there anything similar nowadays? Spark is still a legitimate deck. We played against one, I think like either last week or during the 8-hour stream we last did. And it was pretty good. Malia seems really fun in that deck. I think Asset Spam got a bit worse with the existence of Freedom, on the basis that Freedom can deal with assets relatively easily. And there's also a lot of like bad pub anarchs going around, so it might vary, but it's definitely not terrible. So here we can go ahead and fast advance out of Vitruvius. It gets an agenda out of our hand. We'll still have enough credits to res. Nope. But this, which is fine. I think we have to do that. I think we're just going to have to do that. I don't know if we're ever going to get counters on this, so whatever. We're going to go ahead and fast advance it before maybe they threaten Clot with a self-modifying code. I've seen a lot of Freedoms run self-modifying code. A star-studded fade. I think Diversion to Funds is going to give 419 the out-of-the-gate pressure he needs to create a hard lock in most games. Please no agenda. Okay, that's cool. So the Yusuf is down. They can start trashing cards. That's the turning wheel we talked about. So I don't see a lot of burst multi-axis. They can trash a recursion card. They now have 2 accesses, the 2 counters, so they can even trash our shit. So we want to install our ice before we lose it for sure, because the pressure is definitely a real thing. And they can also trash this for free, which is a problem. So we're going to want ice on it. Now putting Ravana on HQ doesn't really do much on its own until we draw another piece of ice. So we got to plan our whole turn here. It's very easiest for to install Ravana, credit. There's also some value of playing the current. It might scare them to run, because if they hit a Fairchild 3.0 with the current up, it's really bad for them. And we know they're on laundries and they've played 1 so far. We don't know if they're on strike. We don't know what their restricted card is, if at any. I expect a lot of times it to be Clone Chip, honestly. But we probably want to play this too before we lose it, because getting this back seems really important. I think we want to draw once, put this on HQ, click for credit. Seems fine. And another one of those is valuable if we get the right cards in the right order. Let's see how that goes. Cake, what's up? Spark has more cards than ever to play with. It's just not as strong as the NBA IDs. Ooh, this is going to fire. That's really good. Yeah, there's a lot of really good NBA IDs right now. Like Asmari prints 1 billion credits. So it's kind of difficult. So they're going to access this with 3 counters, which means anything basically here is safe. And I think we just want to get the Eli 2.0 on the remote server so we can jam our other Adonis behind it. We know we're not going to draw an agenda for a while. And it's going to be hedge Adonis, preemptive Adonis. So we can always preemptive on our turn to shuffle. This is definitely the most value. We can't res this. So I don't think we're going to get a lot of value off of this ability. Because we don't want to put this on the remote, because then it just dies. It takes 3 of their counters, but it just dies. I think they always check it, so we're going to refuse on that one. Damien, what's up? Hey, Andre, first time catching the stream late here in Ireland. Gonna watch Euros this weekend. I'm excited too. Actually, Damien, do you know who's streaming Euros specifically? Because I can't figure out. And I would love to know, because I'm definitely going to be watching it. Good luck at Euros if you're playing. I've been finding Imp Strike still pretty clutch for Anarch. Imp Strike is always going to be a good card. Now, if they run through this, we res it, we get no value from it. That means we likely can't res this and they can go trash it. There's only 2 credits left on it, so it's not that big of a deal. And if we res this, we can also res the Eli 2.0, which is kind of what we want. So we're going to go ahead and get the res here. It doesn't actually do anything, but once they get through it, we res this. So basically it's like clicking for a credit. And now it does something. It's kind of the best we could have asked for. They hit the enhanced login protocols. Let's see if they trash that. They do trash it. And this card's actually pretty well positioned against Yusuf, because it needs 3 counters to get through this if they don't click. Oh, Neil Redding, excuse me. Grid is doing it. Fantastic. Thank you, Ed. I'm not sure. It's usually been the Neo Red and Grid guys, but I can't find anything solid. Yeah, I struggled to find anything solid. I'm assuming it's Neo Red and Grid. I know Christian's going to be there from Teamwork Cast. Oh, nice. Maui confirms it in Twitch too. Okay, that's fantastic. Got to do this first before your mandatory draw. And what do we do? They're at the point where I think they want to set up a bit. They can push their luck pretty well here. This card's still kind of good, but I think they might not run this turn. I just want to put this in a remote, click for 2 credits. There's a chance we're going to be able to score the Vitruvius out. We have ice on all our centrals, which is actually pretty good ice that they can't deal with besides clicking through things. So I think this is probably acceptable. Wait, how did we top deck this? Oh, because we shuffled with the Maryland. Our best late architect plans were actually pretty foolish. Dang. We might have wanted to... Ooh, they're on Mimic. Oh, man, it's old Netrunner. For 1 credit with the bad pub. Single access every turn. They know they were on shipment. I don't think they've seen the second one, though, so... I don't know if they have... This is going well for us. Career forecast. Oh, this is going so bad for us. That is a fine ice, I guess. Sometimes it's like 4 strength. It's going to take 2 counters on R&D. Oh boy. Yeah, Mimic is definitely making a comeback. Data Sucker seems pretty good. Early pressure. 3 credits install. Not a lot of big sentries going around anymore. Especially with Ice Carver. You can just play Ice Carver. It's good with Yusuf as well. This hand is ass. This is a butt hand. Again. Drawing our Fairchild, not great. We are never going to be able to res this. We can res this for 4 if they go through this turn, but then we have no money. Can't wait to see Yogg.0 come down. Just wait for the Morning Star again. Oh, we just don't have a play here. We don't. Raven, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by. How you doing? I'm uncomfortably warm. I'm feeling it real good up here. There's a chance we lose here. Do we? They want to get singles every turn. Ooh, Trashing Ice, that's really good. They can run again, see another card. But Trashing Ice is so good. I have no doubt that this is never going to fire. And this is a thing we saw when we played Pat's deck. That was the next rush deck with 3 of these. Runners run every turn. If they're not running, they're generally goofing it. I saw the spoiler for Cradle, and I'm sad they didn't call it Yogg.1. Cradle looks real solid. Okay, this is a thing we could do. They trashed this for free, mind you, which is great. And I think they're just setting up for the turning wheel run on HQ, where they're going to see everything. And we don't have a play against that. They'll probably be able to get through if they really commit to it, right? Like, they can trash an installed card. They can trash a cast. They can take 8 credits. They can get through it. So maybe we just install this in there. We could consider shipping it out if they don't run. But, like, oh, man, it's really rough. This play is kind of... not great too, because we have to now protect this for 3 turns, and I think we lose the turning wheel sooner than that. We're going to lose off of R&D anyways. As soon as we do install advanced, though, if they know we're playing the Decklist of the week, there's no reason not to run this remote. So I think we're actually going to put this in server 1. They didn't see what we top deck either, so this could look like a Maryland or anything like that. The fact that we took too long deciding it actually makes it look worse. Oof. You could overdraw, pitch agenda into some preemptive. It's not a great play, but it's a play. You're right. Oh, they're biting. We res that, so they might just take 8, go through this. Whew, good, they jack out. Well, we just paid a lot of money for that. And if the Adonis doesn't fire, we're not going to be able to score out. Interestingly, is we don't actually have to score it out, because if it is 1 credit and it's a Maryland and or it's an Adonis, we can't res it anyway. So if we do nothing to it, it doesn't even look suspicious. We're going to talk about Ascendant. People want to know. Yeah, we are. Of course we are. Trash to Maryland. We'll talk about it briefly in the news section. Have a bad pup. No, I can't fight 5 cards. But we're going to be doing an unboxing for that real soon as well. Trash the card, see another card. And remember, these runs are free now. Our ice is garbage. We got to make them interact with us. And everything that we're putting in a remote, they're just not interacting. Okay, good game. I don't like this deck. I just picked up their no surprises left, but I love the smell of new cards. New cards smell real good. Not the cards, the spelling. Oh yeah, the spelling is super weird, right? Like Ascendant is actually... Okay, so I tweeted this out the wrong way. Apparently with an A or an E. 2 in there. 1 left in HQ, 1 behind the FC. You can spell Ascendant either with an A or an E. I think the A is more popular, but FFG went with the E spelling. Maybe that's more like British, I don't know. Oh, I have David. This is good. This is fine. I think shipment from 10 is ridiculously hard to play. If your only teeth is purple ice, you need threat and damage. Exactly, like our ice can be clicked through even if they have no breakers. Once they see one of these, they want to run every turn anyway, especially with cards like Freedom out. I don't love this card, especially spending 90 influence on it. If you have one, it's cool. If you have 3 of them. Oh, it did. It very much did not. Yeah, can't say I love this one. If we're like, you know, Jinteki deck with good ice on every remote, different. There are alternative spellings of Ascendant because all life is meaningless. Oh, hey, cheers. Me too. Okay, we'll do one more with these. Luckily, these games are relatively fast, and then we'll jump into something else because we've had 2 like pretty rough games. We got some like the amount of accesses they made and how quickly we lost is I think we're a bit just like a slightly above the curve. So I just want to not draw our Fairchild. Hey, see how that goes. Tobo, what's up? Thanks for the game. How you doing? I was meant to write hey in there. Did I write hey somewhere else on accident? All right, Max. Okay, well, we're going to mulligan this out of there. Max, again, probably pretty aggressive. Might be a tag me deck. Don't love this ice. I guess if you res it for 1, it's better. That's technically a hand, I guess. So I'm always scared about indexing for Max. We could get Wanton turn 1. Hopefully we keep the preemptive. Let's draw another piece of ice. We did it. We did it. Actually, this is what an opening hand looks like that we wanted. That's strictly wrong. We got our money. We got our credits. We can res any of these. Res the other ones for free. We're pretty good. Alan, what's up? Is Glacial NBN a thing? Totally. Very much. Firstly, welcome. Asmari decks can run very glaciary. You just have to import generally defensive upgrades. Interestingly enough, do we res this? If we res this, we pay 3 for this, 1 for that, ping F4, which means we can still pay a mining accident. Their deck looks like it's basic good stuff. So the single axis itself doesn't seem to matter. I want our stuff res. Let's get our ability. Yeah, you totally can. Asmari decks are generally playing mid-range, mixture between mid-range and Glacier that are putting things in the remote server, running big ice, things like Endless EULA, Toll Booth. There's a lot of Netrunner DB that you can find. This is a good face check though. I guess both of them are. But yeah, totally possible. I don't think they got any new cards in this pack that came out today that helps with it. I actually don't remember what they got. You've got unlucky draws. The deck can do better. I have no doubt the deck can do better. Do they know we're on this? Is that why they ran turn 1? Because like running makes us res their stuff for free. It's not particularly great. Liberate's coming down. They're running a strange deck. Looks like they have a lot of viruses or MU issues. Gordian Blade looks like good old basics. The thing is, if they want to recur this card, the only option at this point is either Scavenge or Retrieval Run, which means Icing Archive seems pretty good. Retrieval Run's pretty good against Max anyways, or in Max. They could easily trash this. I don't mind so much considering that we do have a preemptive in hand and we have another reasonable target. This encourages them to run once a turn though, which is kind of bad with a shipment, but we don't have any good shipment plays here. There's a chance we actually want to do Adonis and then play the Enhanced Login Protocol, so this is much harder to do, but then we can't afford both of them, so we'll just do this Cane of Credit. Hopefully it's in Maryland, they don't run it. Howdy from Brazil! Mobile Twitch died on me. Oh, hey. Oh yeah, welcome over from YouTube. Memstrips is great with Yusuf. It could be. There's a new breaker out today. It looks like they're on basic stuff, and it looks like they're on some combo things. I would expect Hive Mind, Tripano, because there's some weird stuff going on here. Legwork coming in, that's reasonable. We don't get a free res, which is fine. Adonis isn't a Biroid, so we don't get a res it, and they might get an agenda here. FFG has been pushing the NBN Tempo game, which dovetails nicely into Glacierish play. It does. It's about things in remotes. We lost our agenda, not a great agenda to score right away. How are we ever going to win? Like, how many cards do we literally need to draw to find a remote that's good? I guess this is a good combo, these two together. They can always run HQ, and they also know that... Do they know that we're on... No, they haven't seen this card yet, so... We have to wait for this to tick down, because it's too much money. I think they're on Max Friday Chip Imp Fire Suite. Yeah, maybe. Again, Retrieval Run. Looking pretty good right here. We need to ice this Archives up ASAP, and the thing is we're icing with Biroids, which is relatively bad. And they have 2 of these in their deck, which is wild. Luckily, our ice is really good against it. We can fast advance this out and put a counter on it, which is actually pretty good. I kind of like that idea. Yeah, fuck it. It has a counter on it. That's largely okay. Server in Inferus. I'm with you on shipment from 10, and especially Vianarch, most runners aren't just going to sit back and relax, and I feel like the deck doesn't provide enough punish to dissuade running. In fact, with MCA AP, it's almost promoting the opposite as a must-trash asset. I guess MCA, the austerity program, is a bit better with that, because sometimes they sit back for a couple turns and then contest the austerity. But, are we drawing a card? This is now such a problem. They have to run every turn, because we have Vitruvius into shipment. I draw? MCA AP plus ELP is decent. Definitely is. Let's get a card. And they're going to imp whatever they find. That is a fine card, the DBS, the Daily Business Show, but they can go ahead and trash it. So if we want to play that, we want to play something else. Resobiroid for 2 credits. Oh, I guess we have to get as much value as we can. It's 2-3 clicks right there. All right. Oh man, the amount of single accesses. Like, there's runners making such expensive single accesses every Anarch we've been playing, and it's working out. It's working out real good for them. Let's be honest. It's working out really well for them. Oh, man. How? More ice, please. Thank you. They can deal with that. I have no doubt they're going to be swinging HQ this turn because they have this imp set up. Look at that Eli 2 doing work. That was worth, but admittedly was only 1 credit. But, like, this doesn't stop anything. It doesn't stop Siphon, which is now a new thing. This doesn't stop Retrieval Run if we need to stop it. It looks like they're just going to run good stuff. Data Sucker and Ice Carver. Ah, man. How do we... I wanted more cards in hand, and now we have a choice. We definitely don't ice Archives. If we ice up R&D, it looks like we might lose on R&D, which I hope they don't run HQ. Jim, what's up? General, I didn't think of the one all the way through, but he did include a Calvin and Hobbes cartoon. That's what we call targeted marketing. It's all about the art there, and anytime you have Calvin and Hobbes, everyone gets a bit happier. They didn't run. So let's just top deck another... No, we didn't, but we could have. Gordian Blade plus Ice Carver for Data Sucker. Actually, they can deal with this relatively well. They get through this for like 5 or so credits. And again, we don't have defensive upgrades. We don't have any advanceable bluffs. And they're already on 4 points. So like they could easily play, I don't know, Mad Dash and win. And that's an issue. We could Purge here, which is kind of rough. If we want to do that, we probably want to install 2 cards and Purge next turn. I think... if we put a card in the server and play enhanced logging protocols, they might go for it. Because it looks like it could be agenda. It makes HQ real flimsy, but YOLO. 1 to 3 on HQ, lose to legwork, kind of. Worth it right there. Siphon is a thing again? Yeah, it just came out today. It's called Diversion of Funds. It's a bit different. I have to see that urgency last unboxing. It wasn't the one that came out today. It's actually the one, it's like a pack that came out today. The video didn't come out today. It'll hopefully come out next week. Let's hope they bite here. And they did hit a Vigil into the bin. So let's say we counterplay it around this card, which is now in the heap. Did we not say that we lose to legwork? They installed same old thing legwork after we jam into a remote and play a current? Why? Why would you do that? We drew once that turn. I guess they have imp. Maybe they want a Data Sucker to run the remote? I don't know. That's real weird. There's no way we'd see that coming. Anyways, okay, we're on game point. That's fine. Satyr Adaptive Barrier. They can't deal with it. There's some value. The server actually gets a bit more difficult because they can't click through both of these, so they have to break this for generally like 3 credits. Ballsy. It worked. I don't think that was the right play. It was the right play. I don't think it looked like the right play. Purge. We could just ice this up though. And like, what are they going to do? Run through this, trash it, run through this, trash it. We lose to anything off of R&D. If they imp cards that aren't agendas, we're fine. I think we actually want to put this on like HQ. The thing is, we're controlling our draw really well right now. This is actually has probably more value on the remote server because we can then purge and then it's hard for them to do run here. Our current is turned off. I want this on server too. With no cards in hand, imp looks bad. Okay, how do we win? Again, I don't know. We can maybe got to 2 points here. We do have this current, which is good, or not this current, this counter. So we can always grab a shipment if they don't run, and we do top deck a 3-2. And they hit an oversight, overmind in the bin, which might make sense why they're running all this MU, but they have a lot of MU options. I called it imp life. So they didn't run. Progenitor's coming out into the bin, that is. And they got to throw out one more. And a mem strip, so big MU. Okay. So we can make a play by installing over this and clicking for 2 and putting in server 2 and hopefully they bite. I like this play. The other option is purging. So how do they get in this remote? This card is 1 ice weak than Morningstar, but they also do have Data Suckers, so it's not strictly true. So if we top deck an agenda, what do we possibly do with it? We have to like just jam it in. So I think we maybe just install that in this remote. Over this, click for 2. They might bite, and if they bite, it's a lot of their money. But I think at 6 points, it'd be like, ah, fuck it, you can score an agenda. Like, that's a smart play. Like, if we install Don't Advance, the worst it could be is like the last Vitruvius. There's no reason why they should run it. So I think that might be strictly bad. Drawing last click is obviously the worst. We have seen not that much influence, right? We've seen, actually we have seen a lot. We've seen 6, 7, 8. I'm assuming if they're on 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 with 2 levies, they might be on only 1. We've seen 1 same old thing. So they might not have that much more interesting stuff. They might not even have an R&D pressure card. They could be on like 1 indexing, 1 levy. But drawing last click is always the scariest. If they do legwork, in theory, we could like panic and Vitruvius in another card, but I think they run HQ here. There's still a fair bit of agendas in the deck. Credits actually don't matter. Like, we're not on Ash. Credits legitimately don't matter. So drawing here actually seems kind of cool. Let's not draw an agenda. Fucking hell. You have the Vitruvius counter into Tenon. If you're threatening 4-2s, they really think it through. Yeah, we are. But then they can just run archives, and they don't have to do it. Or they'll just probably run R&D. They hit the next same old thing into the bin, which is pretty good. We also haven't seen a Contaminate, and Contaminate and Progenitor don't really work well together. If they don't run, we can fast advance this bad boy. And then we can... Oh, we lost our 1 recursion card. I guess we have another one in the deck, but we want to preemptive bag our shipments. And just hope they don't interact with us for some reason. Alright, Xanadu. This might just be only core set stuff, and like the 1 deluxe. Where did this one come from? This also came from a deluxe. This one didn't, though. Alright. We gotta fast advance this thing. I don't see how else we win. We're doing it. We're living the dream. This is going to give us 8 credits, which is okay. Some money. How do we score another 3 points? It's really difficult because we have no 3-point agendas. Like, we still have this... Ooh, Gravedigger. Like, we still have this... We have to do a lot of work still. Oh man, this is a big reason why like Global Food Initiative is so good. I guess we have Bifrost arrays that have, again, money doesn't matter in this deck. Like firing a Bifrost array on the CFC excavation committee, a contract, while it's cool, it gives us 9 credits. The deck has legitimately no way to leverage it. I'm being more positive and supportive. Yeah, man. Oh, the last couple of weeks for the Decklist of the week, I've become like way too salty, which is not good. All right, they imp one of these cards. It really doesn't matter. The Data Sucker counters, I think, matter more. Yeah, there's like no way for us to leverage money. The fact that we don't res this makes it obvious that it's not a Biroid, so it's generally either a Satyr or an Architect. They hit the Adonis, they can pay 3, or they can just imp it. I think they'd rather imp like a Biotic Labor or some other fast advance card. Ooh, color got weird there on the camera. They're thinking about it. It's always good fun. My first time in chat here. I had a 419 deck I'm sitting on to publish. That's not a meme deck. Dan, what are you doing with 419? I don't think 419's ability is worth the time. The link is the best part, right? We all just love the link. They didn't trash it. That might mean they run again. They just take a credit. Looks like they're threatened by this. That being said, there's 3 in the bin, so I don't see why they need to. We'll take our 2, give it that shuffle. Mandatory. Okay. So... They know we have an Adonis in hand. If we top deck an agenda, we look so sweet. If we do install. I think we want to do it. Like, we want to tax them out. This server is still pretty weak. They are right at the point where they have to levy, though. So if they spend a bunch of money on this server, and we're at game point, we're in theory like double biotic if we do have it. Scores a 5-3 out. I kind of like this on the remote server. It also makes this harder to deal with. Let's try it. Again, money really doesn't matter. This one shuffles back into our deck, which is good. This is the Donist though, so there's there's more unknown cards in HQ. Maybe that actually has more value. I don't think we're gonna let this one tick through all the way though. It's Link with a non-blank ability and full influence. Leela. What is this Fair Corp nonsense? Grim Sleeper, how's it going? Yeah, it's just ice. It's literally just ice in this card, and I don't think that's enough. MCA Austerity is the most not great, not fair card. Vicky, Dan, and Andre in the same place. Must be a lucky day. Welcome. How's it going, Vicky? Remote enforcement seems better. Exactly. If we had remote enforcement, we'd be so much better than this card. Like, the money on this doesn't matter, and like we're basically getting the money worth of a free ice, and we could have just rezzed the ice. Been trying to use 419 and a mini econ sapping effect that exposes kind of meh unless you go all in. Yeah, kind of. I could see that, but I'm not a big fan of exposed. A lot of times I can largely guess what the ice is, and you can always play around your worst case scenario and make some. Yes, they're going for it. Now, Gordian Blade does stack strength to the server, so luckily these have a lot of subroutines, otherwise we'd look pretty silly. This should be a regular thing, the Dandre show. Dandre. Deck creator agreed with you about remote enforcement actually in a comment. It says they made deck a month ago. Oh, wild. Good to hear. Res Byroid for free. No, thank you. Like, even Ash. We'd res Ash for free. It's a Byroid. It'd be so good. So this one's going to end the run. So I'd be interested to see if they come back for it. Mind you, they're not running Paperclip, but they're on Morningstar. And this is still in Morningstar range. There's actually a chance that we 100% shouldn't have resed this. I feel kind of stupid. We should not have resed this because we wanted them to get through this and spend more money. That was a reflex. That was 100% a misplay. 100% a misplay. Let's see if it costs us the game. It's really just that he has Link and 15 influence. Like, his card could literally be blank. Yep. Except sometimes they pay money, right? Unrelated, do you prefer cats or dogs? Dogs. Dogs are good. Cats are fine. Click, click. Oh, we're getting that sweet, sweet card draw. Woo! Saved by the bell. Woo! God dang. Hey, good game. I think they accessed like 5 cards. Oh man, that never works out. That's been going so poorly for us. Woof. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, so much for that bell, right? Thanks for the game, eh? Yikes. Well, Shell Game's been rising in popularity lately since Wanza came out. Yeah, we're gonna play some Wanza tonight, I believe. You prefer dogs over cats? Yeah, dogs are cool. This is a big box line deck for tabletop with my friends. Yeah, hey, I thought so. However, I saw that what's his name? The Compromise, that one employee card. Corporate Defector. We had rules, yo. If you're just tuning in, my name is Andre. Welcome back to the Metropole Grid, or welcome to the Metropole Grid. I have to apologize if I sound a bit like all over the place. Uncomfortable. Rules. Had a deal. I'm super warm. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's summertime just about right now. We're going to start our news segment. I'm done with this deck list of the week. I think we've seen what it could do. We haven't seen it do well. I think it's still possible. Hey, cheers. Too. And it's probably actually a really cool decision if you're playing against people that love that sort of like Glacier thing, jam things into remote, get good breakers, economy, ice, stuff like that. Like, it's definitely fun, but you see a lot of decks that can just kind of disassemble it because there's a lot of issues. Do you not have AC over there in Canada land? I have like a window mount thing that I have to put back in because it just got really hot this last week, but I generally turn it off during this thing because otherwise it'd be really loud and I don't like the sound. Betrayed by Eli at one point. I was lazy big brother. I grow up so fast. Sure, one of your Montreal fans would be happy to come over fan you on stream. Oh boy. Check this out. So we're gonna do the news segment, and if I map this properly, we found it. This is the old element. Welcome. We're doing some news talk. This is, I think it was a win condition when NBN exchanges a global food initiative. What's going on this week in Netrunner? We actually got a lot of stuff. Oh snap. It's 9 p.m. and 91 Fahrenheit over here. It literally died without AC. Don't know what Fahrenheit is. Literally a nonsense system someone made up. I need to feed him various also. All right. What happened today? Never a bunch of stuff. Did you make that in Fireworks? Don't know what Fireworks is, Dan. I made that in After Effects years ago when we did like these sort of videos. It was like an NBN win condition thing, or that actually came up when they scored breaking news. Yeah, Raven remembers seeing those. Those are fun. Throwback. So today we came out with this. This is the Corpse Side unboxing of a Nalubale, which came out a bit late. It was a real buzzer beater here, coming out before everything. If you want to, it's going to be buried, and this is the second week in a row we put this out on a Wednesday night, and then Thursday it gets buried behind the other videos because that's how the new videos work. Anyways, if you dig it, yo Cody, what's up? If you dig this sort of stuff, check it out. I love the comments. I've actually been answering all the comments on the other stuff, which is great. If you have questions, love to hear what decks you're in, stuff like that. So that's a thing today. But there's so much that happened today. 37.2. That seems like it's going to be an issue for human life. This is Kampala Ascendant, which is the new data pack that actually just came out today. And while it's not up on Jinteki.net, it will be in the near future. And gotta say a couple things off the bat. This data pack is nonsense. I mean nonsense in the best way. It's super, super powerful. There's a lot of cards that left Netrunner from the revised core set that are now back in this, specifically this data pack, in much more reasonable ways. Without spoiling too much, there's a new clone chip. There's a new account siphon. There's a new Scorched Earth. There's a new Parasite, even though we kind of had a new one. It's super wild. This is also the data pack with the most influence in it ever, tied for first. I think I've said that a bunch, like, ooh, no, don't look at those. It's going to be wild. It's a really big deal. We're going to be talking about this real soon, and I'm glad. Now, this data pack marks the end of the Katara cycle, and then the next thing coming up, which we'll get to in a second here, is Rain and Reverie, which is the next deluxe expansion. We haven't heard what's coming out after that point. We honestly don't know what it is. I'm expecting there to be a long gap. Just to say in terms of rotation, because this is worth mentioning every time a cycle ends, the next rotation, and which is a relatively new thing here in the Netrunner world, and I think most people actually are really enjoying rotation as a whole, is not going to happen for a while, because while Katara finished, it's right here, the next cycle hasn't been announced yet. Once that finishes, and then the third cycle after that, once the first data pack comes out in that cycle, that's when the next rotation happens. And the Sansan cycle and the Lunar cycle will be cycling out. We'll be sorry to see those cards go, but by that time we'll be complaining about how big the card pool is anyway, so be it. But we're getting to that point in probably a year and a half, so nothing to worry about. If you're new to the game, it's a really good time right now. Katara cycle's been great. Revised core set's been great. Rain and Reverie looks like it's a good thing for everyone, but we're coming in. What up, chat? Hope his data pack brings the power of Crim. It's gonna bring power to everyone. Oh my god. It's not a new clone chip and they'll get rid of the old one. You got 2 clone chips. Problem is 2 kind of anti-synergy. Are there any corp cards in the pack? Yes. I'm pretty sure there are. I haven't checked. Runners are generally considered to be better than corps right now in the competitive scene, so take that as you will. The art for the cover of the pack is gorgeous. This card is in the pack, right? Pretty sure it is. Zero is a thing. This is Rain and Reverie, and this is a good thing because, like, for the last 3 weeks we've come out here to talk about new Netrunner news. We've said there hasn't been news in it's been like 110 days. Maybe it's been less than that. It's probably less than that. It's probably like 80 days since we have a Netrunner news. This is Rain and Reverie. If you haven't seen this, this is a new deluxe expansion coming out soon. It's currently at the printers, so maybe it's a month or 2 away. And it's a wild thing for a deluxe expansion because it actually has cards for every single faction in the game, including mini factions. And they showed us 2. This article, if you want to see, that came out yesterday, focuses on 2 factions. It shows the new ID, Nathaniel Nat Hall, and Anarch, who's working on the minimum hand size thing. It's also one of the youngest runners we've ever seen. And the NBN ID that I like the art of, called Acme Consulting, that gives you tags during runs. Which, that's a Doodadwa? That's a Doodadwa? Is it? I know I spelled it wrong. Oh yeah, it's a Doodadwa. Of course it is. Oh yeah, okay, it's sideways. Great. Thank you. Damn, I'm good as Red Grim Sleeper. Man, the flavor text on this is awesome. This has kind of been like a meme in the Netrunner online community for a long time. Shout outs to Josh Wilson, who used to stream a bunch more, but anytime you hit 2 agendas on the top of R&D in a row, one of them's an Aster script, you just say, damn, I'm good, because so be it. And that's great. So Nat is really cool. We're not going to talk too much about these. They're going to be coming out hopefully soon. I just want to say one thing about this, because this is kind of exciting. Nat is clearly pushing this whole like no cards in your hand archetype, and we've had cards that came out in the in the Mumbad cycle that had that archetype, and they never worked out. The archetype just never had a payoff, and this is generally what happens is an archetype. You see a bunch of cards that clearly work together, like the self-damage package exists, and it's really good. It just got better today, but this is like the no hand archetype, and there's not been a good compelling reason to do it. So far, the best card has said if you start your turn with no cards in hand, gain an extra click, and that's just not good enough to build a whole deck archetype around. And now they printed this, and this is probably the best reason we've ever seen to run the no hand archetype. So I actually have high hopes for it because this card alone is a compelling enough reason why an Anarch would want to run no hand. This card is absolutely nuts. The NBN side of it is kind of weird. It seems like it needs a lot more support from cards that don't exist yet. They're coming out of the pack. Gives you a tag during a run. It's really hard to understand what cards work with this and what cards don't work with it because you don't actually physically have the tag. You're only considered tagged. So cards like Keegan Lane don't work, which is super upsetting because that would be really, really good. The best card that we know right now is Universal Connectivity Feat, which is borderline busted. They run, if this is the outermost piece of ice, they lose all their credits. And before anyone says, you can play Pachinko for value, you can play, look, if you're, no one gets excited about that stuff anymore. I'm done. I don't want to run barriers that are cheap. It's just not, I'm not into it anymore. I'm done. No more barriers. Like Alice Merchant works for him. Have you seen any of the alt arts coming to Euros? Sorry to interrupt, but you got. I've seen a bunch. I've seen a couple of the Adam ones that were coming in. Zealous Judge doesn't work, Maui Chris. It honestly doesn't work. Ben had a cool post on the Reddit thing. You have to like res it with that Wayland region. You can't res it at the same time because it doesn't work. Unfortunately, having no cards in the card game seems like a bad idea. It could be, but that breaker seems good. Anywho, we'll move on. Don't want to spend too much time talking about that because we don't know. It's all conjecture at this point. We don't know the deck. This is a really big deal if you like watching Netrunner on the internet or you live across the Atlantic Ocean. European Championships are this weekend. It's Saturday and maybe more days considering this is what the chart looks like. And this is the this is the European Championships of Netrunner. It's taking place in Birmingham at the National Exhibition Center. I think it's some sort of game convention. I wouldn't be surprised. And this is this weekend. And the European, huge shout out to always the European competitive scene because it's honestly kind of in some ways more interesting to watch than the American scene, just because in Europe people come from all over and you start seeing like really cool like different meta decks from wildly diverse metas. People are talking different languages. It's like super exciting to watch. Netrunner tournaments are always really fun to watch anyways. I believe, and I don't have any confirmation on this straight yet, but it looks like Neo Red and Grid will be live streaming this on hopefully all of it. I don't know, but check on Neo Red and Grid. They're on Twitch. They should be streaming the event. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I've been told that someone is streaming the event. So if you just go on Twitch on Saturday and check Netrunner in the played games, you'll find it. And I'm excited to watch it. This is what it looks like. Prize support's pretty cool. This is the first tournament with this prize support. Really big thing worth knowing, and it's super unfortunate in some ways, is that a product for a Netrunner product has to be legal. Released and legal, I think the number is for 11 days before it can be tournament viable or like be allowed as part of the tournament card pool. So this is the last tournament, big tournament, I believe, that does not have Kampala Ascendant, which is such a huge bummer because I'd be so more excited to see what the new meta looks like this early with the new account siphon at such high tables. But we're going to be playing right before that. I'm still excited to see how or where Yusuf shows up, and by Yusuf I also mean Freedom shows up in the meta, and see what's good, because that's always going to influence regional season, and it's just, you know, it's fun. We're on Twitter. It's been going a couple weeks, been tweeting out the stuff. People have been tweeting at me. This is a super dope tweet got. Come at me. People send deck lists. I'm not that great at Twitter. I think we did like 2 or 3 tweets today, just absolutely killing it. So hit me up there if you want. There's also a bunch of other Netrunner content creators you'll always be able to find on Twitter. Like Dan and Chad is here too. Jamie's here on Emergency Shutdown, talking about Emergency Shutdown. Next week is going to be a good Netrunner week as well. So Jamie's doing this thing. If you've not seen the Emergency Shutdown, Jamie streams Tuesday nights at 7:30, and that's a date maybe you want to write down on your calendar, even if you're not watching, or if you haven't been watching Jamie. I'm going to be on there. We're showing up Tuesday 7:30 this upcoming Tuesday. I believe it is the 5th, if I'm not mistaken, and we're going to be doing some Netrunner together. So drop by if you want to see that. I know that Jamie has a pretty dope lineup of different guests over the next couple weeks, so go check that out. Also, talking about guests next week, our good friend Patrick Sklar will be on the stream as well on Thursday because it is the first of the month and he's made a contract and he has to uphold to that. So generally when Patrick shows up for the streams, we're going to go more to back to basic stuff, teaching like fundamental stuff like that. It's going to be less about deck building, more about running good. So if you're into that, if you're a new player, if you know newer players, maybe recommend there. It's a good time to ask questions. We're a bit more methodical explaining what we do and what we don't do. It's a really good place. Hey man, if you want to come on my show, you can come on anytime. Gotta wake up at 6 a.m. Well, beans. Maybe one time, Dan, actually. I think at one point I can be waking up at 6. Thank you for the offer as well. I should always do the offer backwards. I've been pretty bad with guests. E3 is in 2 weeks from now. It'll be the week of like the 11th to the week after that. So not this week, but the next week there will be E3, which means that we're not going to be here. There will be no stream for a week. So we're going to not be here on Thursday, and there's going to be no video content as well. We'll be back after that. We'll try and make it up. We'll try and make up like a catch-up stream, hopefully sometime on the weekend. It'll be probably a week or so after that because coming back from E3, it's going to be absolutely exhausting. And on top of that, coming back from E3, on the 16th, if you're around in Quebec City, they're having their first ever regional. This is all in French. For information in English, please contact Netrunner La Revanche. But if you're around the area, if you want to come see a beautiful European-esque city in Quebec, come here. I can't confirm that I'll be there. I know people from Montreal are definitely going because I'm coming back from E3 on the 15th. And if my flight gets in late, I might miss the bus and I might just actually be too exhausted to do it. But it's a thing. And that's the end of the news segment. Boom! We did it. If you're just tuning in, my name is Andre, and it's literally too warm in here. I'm going to keep on in chat real quick. Speaking of big tournaments, are those Canadian national games still on the table? Largely not. They're still recorded somewhere, but I haven't been editing them because we've been struggling to get out basic content, and that's a lot of content. You tweeted me back in like 20 minutes. I was impressed. That's called luck. Yeah, it's luck. Strict luck. Hey, Andre, I don't know if it's a change, but the product legality page for Netrunner now says cards are legal on release at regionals. That's actually, no, I think you're right about that, Jim. Is that there's like different tiers of tournaments, and I can't quote me on this, but like regionals are now considered to be like a more casual format, where if a pack comes out the day before it's legal, you don't have to do the 11 waiting days. But I'm pretty sure nationals, like Euros, is longer. It has 11 days. So there's a tier system. Yeah, like Dan saying premier level event versus whatever the term they have for something else. I think regionals is a premier. Jamie's plugging his deck list here. It's a deck list. Take this for a whirl. Jamie, we gotta build something real first though, because we gotta do a corpse. But this is Jamie's deck that he played against me with. You saw how it worked. It worked pretty good. There is a grace period. Yeah, I don't think Kampala is gonna be legal. Guess I'm gonna have to create a Twitter account for all my favorite streamers now. There's a lot of people. Everyone's up on Twitter. I'm not a particularly Twitter person, but I've been figuring it out. It's been pretty good. Excited to watch it. You might if you want to come. Excuse me. Titan Fast Events is still a thing. Definitely playable. I still think it is. We have a 40 card, Crim Raven. I'm pretty sure Silhouette is 40 cards. It's formal and premier. All right. Okay. Yeah, regionals are casual tier, which is I'm fine with that. So this is the deck that we played against: the Morning Stars, the Lamb, the Surfers, the Knife, and I think all we had to do is ice up our guys, and if we could lock them out, we might have been fine. They'd have to draw into their Lamb, which might have been fine. There's no card draw on this, Jamie. You gotta put card draw in your deck, my dude. Okay, we gotta build a thing because we said we'd be building trap decks, and there's 2 decks I want to try tonight. We want to try Mwanza deck. Oh, Khan is 40 as well. That's a good tidbit of knowledge to always keep under there, right? I was like, oh, my Khan deck's coming together. Gotta head out. It's been rad to watch you live, your master, talking through your thought press engagement. It's always been a good show. Have a good one. Hey, Dan, thanks so much for the kind words, and thanks so much for dropping by. Really cool to see you around here. Enjoy your streams tomorrow morning. If you don't know, Dan is Dan Spinoza from Self-Modifying Code. He's on the YouTube chat this evening. He streams like every morning at 6 in the morning, which is wild. And they're all on the VODs on, I think the VODs are still on YouTube, so day job. Check that stuff out. Okay, let's do a deck. I guess we're doing this on Chrome because we know better. Oh man, okay, so what are we doing? There's a couple options here. We're not as prepared as last week, unfortunately, so we have to build something. I was up real last night working out that corpse side that we got up. I'm so pumped for Mukundu. Mushin up. Yeah, does anybody know? There's a new corp ID or called MTI Mukundo. And I'm probably saying that last part wrong too, but is MTI like an abbreviation like SSO? Or is it MT, like that's a word that we should know? Thanks for the plugs. I'm going to crash 5:30 a.m. work. Good night, everyone. Hey, Jamie, thanks for the game. Thanks for dropping by. Again, Tuesday, 7:30. Check out Jamie's stuff, and we'll specifically be there next week. Wayland tag kill deck, do it. Okay, we're doing it. Saturn, we're doing it. It's a word. Oh, dope. Hot dog. What does it mean? It means tree in Swahili. Fuck yeah. That would make so much sense. So what's Mukuno mean? Miti Swahili. I haven't looked it up yet. Normally we talk about this stuff. That's so good to know, actually. Got a lot of Swahili to look up. Yeah, tree. Oh, good. Fantastic. Oh, it's red tree in Swahili. Hell yeah. That's so cool. If you don't know, all these, the old Jinteki identities, we used to be called black tree and white tree. Personal evolution and replicating perfection. And now we have a red tree. Clickots, what's up? I missed it. Will we play the deck Frantic Knife Throwing today? Probably not. I think we've been playing runner decks for a couple weeks in a row. I want to build an Argus deck tonight and see how that goes. We're playing Argus right before the new Scorched Earth is legal on the JNet servers, which might be a mistake. What kind of deck we building, Cody? We are building an Argus trap deck, and specifically one of my cards that I've been enjoying the most is Mwanza City Grid. And this card will give us a lot of money. It'll make them access a lot of things, so they have a bigger chance of dying. And it gives us 10 credits, which is something we can capitalize on with things like C-Source, Exchange, Hard Hitting News, another evil deck. This one's not straight evil, Vicky. This is like just mean. Of course it is, yeah, right? Red tree. That's so cool. Good for them. So Argus Security, if they steal an agenda, they take a tag or 2 meat damage, and we can make that really difficult for them if we spam a lot of cards. If we make them access a lot of cards at once, because of course we want to run as many traps as we can. And cards like Snare are pretty good. We maybe are able to afford all of these in there. Let's give this a nice little 3 next to it. And we also have Forced Connection, which is maybe a bit dubious. I don't know if we need to play this. If we have enough link, this card gives the runners tags. But the biggest problem with Argus Security is that, well, there's a couple issues here, right? So, spoilers, there's a new card that just came out in this pack, and it's a really big deal because it's basically like the new reprint of Scorched Earth. There's no art here, so we're only half spoiling it. Play only if the runner is tagged. Do 2 meat damage for each tag the runner has, and that's really cool. On its own, it means C-Source Scorched or high profile will probably not ever kill anyone, which is kind of good for the game because that was a combo that would kill you out of nowhere if you just had less credits than the runner, or excuse me, than the corp. But it's also a really big deal because it kind of competes with the space of, what's it called? It competes with the space of Boom. And the issue that we're going to have in this deck specifically is if the runner has a bunch of tags, like if they have a lot of tags, they can just run through all our servers and steal all our stuff for free. Like, there's no more tax on Argus Security if the runner's playing Tag Me. And if we have Mwanza City Grid on R&D or HQ, we're just giving them 4 accesses, and if they hit 4 agendas, they just take 4 tags, and it doesn't matter. Boom is not specifically good in that deck either, because if they're accessing a bunch of cards from R&D, the chance of us drawing this is really hard. It's really difficult. So we'd have to play cards like Consulting Visit, which are probably not terrible anyways. But the idea is if once we play this card, once this is on Jinteki.net, when it came out today, this sort of archetype gets so much better, because it's a non-trashable Scorched Earth that cares about other damage cards that we can be playing like Snare. So if they end up with their turn with a tag and 3 cards in their hand, we can just do HPT. They die. Last Warrior, you're suggesting News Team. I think News Team falls exactly into that same camp where, well, News Team is a good card. It is 2 influence, but it might be too much. But if they go Tag Me, this card is just absolutely blank. And we don't want to do that, let alone spend 2 influence on a card that might be blank. Yeah, we have this Consulting It. Okay, no problem. If someone would ask me if I am a runner or corp, I'm definitely a corp. What about you? Which side can you identify yourself with the best? Clickots, always corp. 100% always corp. I don't know why. It's always been corp. It's always been more tricky and fun. I love the face down cards. I love being brash and playing the Wayland and rushing stuff out. You know how it is here. Yeah, Jim, Consulting Visit, 100% a thing. Citadel Sanctuary still works though. It totally does still work, but if they're tagged, hopefully the Citadel, we trash it first. So we gotta figure out how many ways we can make Mwanza City good in an Argus deck, and it's generally either ambushes, which Wayland has none. Besides, Wayland doesn't have ambushes, do they? Oh, this one's always really good. What's that 0 point agenda called? This one's great because it's a fine card, and if they steal, it's pretty bad. And we also could consider making this deck a 3-point agenda deck, where we just run 3-pointers and then we try and hit them with a Scorch, which is okay. Node, what's up? Corp is way more proactive while Runner always feels more reactive. You know, that sounds like you've not been playing Keyhole Eater decks back in the day, playing a max deck, because that's the first decks that I remember like really loving at the competitive field being like, wait a second, I'm in control now. I'm the corp. Force Connection and Space Camp, Parallels up. How's it going? Space Camp, I just don't think does enough. Force Connection is the one that I think we definitely want to be playing. I don't know if we want to play 2 or 3. Also, just like Infinite Jester said, Price Tag is good. The problem with Price Tag is we have to draw it. Even if we don't draw it, though, it is 3 to trash, so that's kind of something. Item Finder, what's up? Just started watching the stream. Question, what current will you be running? I don't actually think we'd be running a current in this deck, specifically because we have Mwanza City Grid, so it's pretty easy for the runner to run in Central Server and find an agenda. I also think we'll be running a lot of 1-point agendas, so we probably won't be running a current. Yeah, we probably won't be. I think we play 3 of these too. It's a lot of 1-pointers. Punitive might be decent with a bunch of 3-pointers. Cody, what's the chance that Punitive is fine with a bunch of 1-pointers? Because, like, imagine they hit all these 1-pointers, they clear all the tags, or even they take the meat damage, and we can be like punitive, and it does 4 damage if they hit 2 1-pointers. Let's do something really stupid here. Also, Item Finder, gotta say, how's it going? Hey, you asked for ambushes. Yeah, those are true. Overseer Matrix. That one's also, Overseer Matrix is going to be a hard card to play because if we're playing Mwanza, they're going to be seeing a lot of R&D, and we may never draw them, and that card's a really bad draw on its own. You need a lot of burst draw for that, so that's okay. Intake would be worth a look. What's the influence? It's like 3. Yeah. Man, I'd rather play Archangel at that point, right? Archangel's like 4? Yeah, Archangel's good. It's either tag kill or punitive kill, the ultimate fork. Let's try a punitive with 1-pointers. Let's see how bad this gets. Oh man, check this out. Okay, so I would love a Wayland trap deck to be good. And I think we're 1 or 2 cards away from that being a possibility. What's the best about Mushin Jinteki decks? Actually, we're playing Mushin in this deck. The best thing about Mushin Jinteki decks specifically is that they have ways to punish you if you don't run cards. And right now there's no card in Wayland that if you have advancement counters on it, it's actually that big of a threat that if you don't run it, it's going to be an issue. And Jinteki has things like Ronin, which if you don't run this, you can die. And in the PE, Personal Evolution, if you don't hit a show of force at the right time, this does 3 damage and you die. And that's also a huge issue. Wayland just doesn't have it. They legitimately don't have a threat that if you don't run it, it's a problem. Now they do have False Flag Attack, which came out today, it just doesn't do that. It's an advanceable card, and it's a bluff between, you know, is this the government takeover, or are you spending so much of your time just getting a really bad 3-pointer? It's kind of up to you to figure that out, but there's no threat, which is kind of interesting. I think it's Emergency Shutdown, the website, but Emergency Original Netrunner. I was digging around OG Netrunner cards because I like doing that, and check this out. There's always this question going around: if you win Worlds, you get a help, or even Nationals at some levels, you get a help design a card. What card would you design? Oh, this is not going to be an easy way to find it. There is a card that I found. Excuse me. We'll find it. We'll definitely find it. Oh, I think it's meat damage. I don't know. I think it's meat damage. Zero results. Okay, that's good. Okay, maybe it's not the best time to dig into this and try and find this. It's probably not the best TV. What's going on here? Maybe just be like that, please. Yes, check this shit out. Cyberdeck Think Tank. Asset 1 to res, 3 to trash. You may advance Cyberdeck Think Tank. Cyberdeck Think Tank advancement counter increased by 1 the meat damage dealt by another source. This is like the one card Wayland trap decks are just short of. Like, you advance this, you motion this out, and then eventually they hit a meat damage source and it can be lethal. And you have to res this, so they can always be like, okay, well fuck, I'm taking the tag when they hit Argus. I don't know, maybe this is poisonous, but they need a card like this. Like, you need an advanceable trap that actually is a threat. Because if I motion cards, the only threat that Wayland has is, well, oh, they could score 7 points real slowly. And we're just short about this. Man, I love this card when I found it. Oh, it's so cool. But we need something like that. Wayland just doesn't have it. And False Flag is just not going to do it. False Flag, though. Nah, I don't know about that. And Vicky, you're suggesting Urban Renewal, but Urban Renewal also doesn't do that. Like, it just shows that in 2 or 3 turns, you have to run it and trash it. And we're going to be advancing and installing and motioning so many cards that, like, they're going to be running anyways. And the 4 credit tax to trash that thing is probably not worth it. Alan, what will we do for money? Hopefully just motion. Hopefully just Mwanza, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Yo, what up? Just finished playing some games of Motion Wayland and False Flag. How'd that go? Because we need some tips here. There's a chance we can go in all in on that on the really silly bad pub stuff. There's that one illicit sales with the kid and the guns. And if we go really into bad publicity, this might not actually be that bad for us because we score this, we gain a bunch of money. And we're probably going to get any bad pub anyways. Back channel is an actual government takeover. 1 3 of 3 games. Oh man, you got to expose that. You could res and dedicate that? Yeah, you could. And actually that's, I think, the most interesting card that Wayland trap decks have right now is the Reconstruction Contract with Mushin. Mushin this card out, it's insane. You can't fire it that turn of, but if they don't run it, you can fast advance things, and you can dump a bunch of counters on stuff. So like there's a real threat here when it comes to Reconstruction Contract. And if they don't run this and then they run an unadvanced like Junebug, you can move all the counters over and you can get a dope lethal kill out of nowhere, and that's a really big deal. Unfortunately, we are now out of influence, so this also seems kind of bad in a Mwanza deck, so maybe that's strictly something different. But there's some really strong plays there with the Reconstruction Project and Mushin and other traps. How good do you think the outfit is going to be? It depends on the card support, but it's just an Econ ID, and specifically a weak Econ ID. I think there's other better Rush Wayland decks. Like, every faction has an economy ID, and Asmari is really good forever. Giving bad pub to the runner, unless you can get rid of it well, is probably not going to be great. Mushin NGO front. You can't res it, though. I see that you said the top table play. What are we using all the money for? Yeah, that's the problem is we don't have any influence now left. And we probably want influence, so maybe we don't do Mushin. Because if we have influence, or we have money, sorry, we can use it for punitive. But the other thing with money is that you can run things like hard-hitting news and Seasource. Now the problem with these cards are then the runner just goes tag me and half your deck is garbage. Because none of the tags matter on any of these things. So I think maybe we'll try punitive. This deck seems pretty bad. Reconstruction said meat damage only, right? Yeah. Or are we only thinking Mushining the Reconstruction Contract? Yeah, we Mushin that, and we Mushin agendas. Well, it's just right here. What am I doing? Yeah. Any amount of meat damage. Jeff, what's up? I feel like Mwanza's not great with advanceable traps. The trash is 0, more traps like Snare. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Junebug plan is pretty bad. Reconstruction Contract is 4 to trash, so there is some value to it. I think also we want assets that help us draw, and if Jinteki had these, they'd be better off. So we can do Illegal Arms Factory. It's another bad publicity card, which means that we can actually run 1-pointers. Let's try and punitive someone with 1-pointers. I feel like that's the name of the game here. Jackson, what's up? If you're on Reconstruction, why not do the Fast Advance Combo Dedication Ceremony? We definitely could. We got to see how many cards we have in the deck, and we got to see how good our Fast Advance could possibly be. So, agendas. We're still short a bunch of agendas. Let's find out what's good here. We want to run mostly 1-pointers. An Underway Renovation has like niche value, not particularly good value because we're not grinding them out. Futures Now is actually a pretty good card. It lets us tutor for a single card, which is not bad. Let's start with just like 2 in our deck to see where we go from there. Atlas is definitely a solid card. It's probably worth playing. If we fast advance it, it's okay. GFI is good here. GFI is probably better than Project Atlas. And we don't have, like, it's hard to score, but we also don't have a restricted card. There's also a chance, and this is such a shame that, like, Public Works, whatever that thing is called. Is it called Public Works? Does not fire from R&D, which would be really good. I know you want 1-pointers, but what about Armed Intimidation and 24/7? I forgot about this card. They just always take the meat damage, right? They play around this. No GFI, go Never Advance. The thing is, we don't have Psychic Field. Like, Never Advance is only good with things like Psychic Field. We're going to be advancing our cards, so we might as well go for food. Because we can Mushin a food. Let's see what our agenda density looks like. What other good 1-pointers are? False Lead is actually relatively strong, but we don't have any tag punishment, so it doesn't matter that much if we're going punitive. Firmware Updates is a pretty ass card unless we run Ice. And it's good with Markiel, but that seems a bit dodgy. And Gila Hands is honestly not that bad. It's honestly not terrible. Let's do the listed sales. I want to see how bad this is. So this is 8 points already. Mind you, these some of them have no influence. Oh, this is gonna be rough. Chronos. So Chronos is particularly only good against Levy. And that's the thing is like Jinteki decks needed to not lose to Levy, and so they needed to run this. If we run real Ice, which we might be, this gets a bit better. I think Gila Hands is probably not the worst. What other 1-pointers are there though before we commit to any of that stuff? There's not a lot of 1-pointers anymore, are there? There used to be a bunch of neutral 1-pointers. I think they all rotated, right? The one that like removed bad publicity, which is not something we really want to do. I guess we can play this, but this is face up. At this point, it's pretty bad. Honestly, at this point with this much integrity, why are you even playing Wayland? Style? You're correct. Crisis management. Oh! Yeah. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's fine. That's good enough, right? Oh, that card cost influence, of course. But of course. This is already 40 cards. Man, this is terrible. Dump the standoffs. Do you need them in a 1-point deck? They're kind of cool with the Argus thing. It only matters if we're like running Archer and stuff like that. But I guess we have other ones. Yeah, I think dumping a standoff is probably fine. Hostile takeovers where I got 3. I wish profiteering. Exactly. This deck would like sing with profiteering. That's one of the good 1-pointers that we lost. Need all the sweet, sweet Wayland 1-pointers. So we just need 2 more good 1-pointers. Let's do 2 Gila hands. Vulcan cover up. Is that still a thing? No, that one rotated, unfortunately. I would actually consider Vulcan cover up. It gives us bad pub. It's kind of exactly what we wanted. That card did rotate. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it definitely did. It was in the spin cycle. Okay, so 2 influence too much. I think Mushin's technically our worst card. And we got to put some ice in here. What else do we need? We need, I don't know if we actually need false lead here. I guess it helps a bit. I think false lead is probably better than some of these, actually. Yeah, you're definitely right. It changes how they play. This is probably the worst one. I like this, I like this, I like this. Let's see what that ever matters. Cleanse station ammo if you're going for style. Ooh, that's a lot of style. Sapper. Ooh, Sapper's perfect. Sapper means that we're running this. It's a good trap that they hit. They can trash it for sure. I think we actually need Psychic Fields in this deck for sure. Like, we 100% need Psychic Fields. Yeah, we need to get a bit more economy in here. We need to get Psychic Fields. We're definitely going to be playing like 2 or 3 copies of stock buyback because it's going to be nuts. Econ going to take credits to make this work? Yep, which is why we have Gila. It's why we have stock buyback eventually. Mind you, Mwanza is one of the best Econ cards in the game, and technically this is also an Econ card. I think this might be one of our worst cards without Mushin. We definitely need Price X in this deck. We got to figure out how to get them in there. I think we actually dropped some of the Mushins, which means that we probably drop these. We're kind of losing the plot a bit here, but... This is also not Price Tag, excuse me. Psychic Field is what I've been trying to say, and this is pretty bad also with Mwanza. It's not very good. But if we're playing a never advanced deck, you have to do it. You need something in Mushin that is bad if they run it. Yeah, we kind of do, and we don't have that. So the thing is, like, traps are bad with Mwanza. Oh, what are we doing here? Why so many 1-pointers? What about Hunter Seeker instead of GFI? That's not a terrible idea. But this saves us like 6 card slots. I guess we can, like, okay, this is 6 points, so we can spend 3 points on Atlases. We don't have Mushin anymore, though, so the Atlas is kind of lame. That being said, like, the Hunter Seekers are really good with, what's it called, the features now. Ooh, 3 of those? Yeah, okay, what advanceable traps do we need? I don't like News Team, it's a lot of influence, and if they're going Tag Me, it does nothing. It legitimately does nothing. Oh man, this deck is not good, is it? Ice. Bailiff is good. Archer is good. -3 1-pointers, +1 GFI. This gives us influence back though, and then we can run Hunter Seeker, which seems like a fun card. We're also not on Boom. I feel like we need to do that. And then we need probably 2 Consultings. Oh, we don't have enough agenda points. Oh, things went really bad really fast. Mwanza is so much better than the NBN ID that only has to steal 1. It kind of is. Errand Boy is not terrible at all. Actually, I kind of do like Errand Boy. Okay, but we got to figure out what this deck does, because we have definitely lost the plot. Having a Code Gate seems probably right too. I don't actually like Tithonium very much. I'd rather Red's Archer every single time. Considering we're giving them so much bad pub, they generally break Tithonium for nothing. 14 agendas will clog up your deck. We're not even done yet. We need more. Okay, well. Ah, man. I want Mushin. That's the problem. It's like we have no good threat. Like if they Mushin and they run it, how bad could it possibly be for them? Okay, we have 1 card too many, but let's just see what it draw like. Oh, this is probably not great. Okay, so this is our opening hand. It's not terrible. Oh, we need Consulting Visits, otherwise those booms are trash. Gene Splicer. That's not really a... They can run that, it's fine. Is the punitive only 1-pointers really the plan? Yeah. Yeah, this is really dumb. It basically needs Mwanza to fire. There's definitely better ways to do this. Like I have no doubt that we could drop like all this stuff and run Sea Source Exchange to run like a reasonable deck, and then Mwanza would still be pretty good. But like check this out. Like we put this on R&D, we put this on HQ, we click for a credit. Next turn we do like I don't know, install. It seems fine. This deck is weird. Just kept on becoming a Fortnite streamer. It's too easy. I've played like 6 or 7 games of Fortnite last week. My whole life. I won a game of Fortnite. Don't know how to build. It was the wildest thing. Dedicated response team is surprise tag punishment. The runner floats tags and starts checking stuff perhaps. The problem with dedicated response team is that it's like once you res it fires once, you just clear the tags to run this thing. And on its own, it does very little. It also like, I don't like DRT and Argus because you're basically making the choice. Would you rather take 2 meat damage or a tag and 2 meat damage? And let's be honest, the counter to Argus is just take the meat damage a lot of times. Yeah. It's not great. So this hand is actually pretty good. Yeah, that's the problem. It's like, why wouldn't they run things? I think we just Psychic Field is the best card in our hand. And we could have more advanceable traps. Breach Dome is better than Force Connection in this deck. It is influence though. It's way too much influence. There's also a chance, what are the cards? Like we have enough Jinteki cards in our deck that we could play Alliance stuff. Like there's some Jinteki Alliance cards that help you draw a bit. Subtype Alliance. I just don't know what they are. It's like Heritage Committee, and there might be another one. I think also Ramen Rai. Yeah. So we can play Heritage Committee or Ramen Rai if we wanted to. Heritage Committee, draw 3, add 1 card from HQ to the top of R&D. That's actually pretty good. That's honestly not a bad card. And then we can run Ramen Rai, which is not great. Oh man, this deck is not good, huh? We have 1 influence left. We could add another food. I think we probably just need to splash Exchange of Informations. I think Exchange of Informations is going to be strictly good enough. Like, without any of the tag things, just, like, hope they get it. But we also need to put Consultings in the deck. Alright. We're playing a 59-card deck. Strap in, everyone. A 54-card deck means we need 1 more agenda. We have negative influence. That might be an issue. This deck is beyond bottom polar. It's quite polar. Okay. This deck needs less agendas and more housekeeping. Housekeeping is not a great card. Like, we have no way to capitalize on housekeeping. Like, legitimately no way. Housekeeping gets better with the new Scorched Earth coming out because hand size mattered, but, like, I don't want to pay, like, what, 2 credits for housekeeping? What other cards give bad publicity? Because there's ice that give bad publicity. And we don't mind those, right? Bulwark can't afford that. That's largely it, huh? That's largely it. Sacrifice. Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah, that's largely it. That's weird. I thought there'd be more. If you're installing almost everything, you can consider Election Day for drawing. Woo! That's a spicy one. Oh, I like that. Oh man, that's fun. Running archives is really difficult. We have that Legal Arms Factory for sure. Checkpoint's not a great card because we have a lot of bad pub. Seems like mad hubris to me. Yeah, it's probably a bit too mad. Housekeeping and currents in general are worse than higher agenda decks. Exactly, yeah. Enforcer's not particularly great. So, man, this card's weird. Election Day is pretty bad with stock buyback, which will stay in our hand for a while. We also don't even have a hedge fund, but oh man. Okay, this is... We gotta not spend too much time on this one because this deck is probably not even worth considering. That seems like a really rough thing to take out of the deck. It seems like the best card. Okay, 53 cards. So we added 1 Atlas. Wayland is not a great card. Oh, okay, excuse me. That's offensive. 7, 8, 9, 10. We actually have a fair bit of ice, which is kind of cool. Maybe we just end jam ice in a remote. We also could just play like Rashida Yahim, which probably is better than the Election Day, but it also is pretty bad with Mwanza. Go up to 3 GFI. Yeah, it's probably good. Take out that. Yeah, that solves those problems. Oh, we can take out a 1-pointer. Now we can put 2 good cards in our deck. Oh man, we made it so much better. 2 good cards in our deck. What do we want? Consulting visit, exchange of information, punitive counter-strike, stock bag back. What's just like a good Wayland card? That's probably not great. Oh man, what are we doing? Economic warfare. It's kind of rough. This card actually probably should see a bit more play. What are we doing here? Localized product line is 3 influence, puts 3 snares in hand. Actually, it's pretty good with Mwanza. This is probably the current we would play if we play any of them. Maybe some more ice. We have 10 ice, which is like surprisingly good. I guess we have a lot of cards though. I just don't think we're an ice deck. Like, we're not really an ice deck. Like, I don't think we're gonna be icing our stuff up. -1 Psychic Field, -1 Mwanza, +1 Snare. I feel like Psychic Field might be one of our best cards. I think Enforced Curfew might be good. Just start paying attention. Why Psychic Field? Because they can run everything, and we're not advancing our cards. We just do install, install, install. I think actually we want like Recursion. Hedge Fund sounds good. I think we want Recursion. Kitsune is too much influence. I think it's like 3. Oh, it's only 2. Oh, well, we can't do that. No ice. Sapper is bad. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're just gonna put like, what's it called, preemptive, just so that we can get like some of our stock buybacks back in. If they trash our booms, it's good. It lets us replay exchange. Let's just put our snares and psychics back in their deck. It's probably the best. Oh man, this is gonna be rubbish. I'm excited for it though. Don't got a good name for this one. Oh, protection's like super unguaranteed. Unguaranteed is not even a word, is it? No, it's not. If you hyphenate it, it's a word. We learned something valuable today. If you're just tuning in, how's it going? No hedge fund? No, we have no hedge fund. A lot of these decks, like a lot of these, what's it called, decks, trap decks, like the PE decks, they might actually run 3 hedge fund, but a lot of times they didn't. Because a lot of times your turn was just like install credit or install double advance. That's the thing, is like we need more things that are like really good traps for install double advance to be actually scary to touch, and we honestly don't have any. Wayland's really missing advanceable traps that are good. Maybe this needs to be fast advance instead of psychic field. The thing is like how, like fast advance for 3 influence, there's not a lot we're gonna do, and like we have to fast advance so many pieces anyways. I'd rather just scare them from running. It's gonna be hard. What's the neutral card that's like genotyping? Oh yeah, that one actually is pretty good too. Distract the masses. Corp deck. Argus? Okay, this is kind of rough. I want to see what Mwanza does, right? Taka Taka is trash in Swahili. Is that a card? Oh, it's rubbish in Swahili. Okay. Alright. Oh. The NBN News intro key is the key, one of the keys I use to type the E with the accent. This makes sense. Just tuning in, my name's Andre. Welcome to the Match Ball Grid. We are doing some weird, it's a punitive 1-pointer deck, which is probably really poorly thought out. Hey, how's it going? This opening hand, we have nothing to jam. We definitely want to open either with a hostile takeover or arms factory. Nick, super fast click. Going well, you. I'm doing well, thanks. This hand is not terrible. We have a lot of traps, but the GFI in our hand is kind of going to be dead there for a bit because we can't rush it out. We're playing against Haley, so indexing is relatively good. We have no way to shuffle. That's one of the cards we wanted, and now we can build a big, nice server after that. Thanks, you too. Sees plenty of play in Jateki Mwanza. I have no doubt that it's probably a fine thing. For bringing back old graphics, I want to hear you talk about the USB stick you found in the parking lot again. That one is actually one I can't really add to the stream because it actually interfaces with the... Oh, that's the 2 cards we wanted. It's harder to do. So 10 credits. Looks like we might be fast advance. We took 1 bad publicity, which again, maybe that'll be good for us. Let's see how bad never advance can possibly be. Proco coming out, great, and a pawn shop. That's generally a slower deck. Well, we just said it's a slower deck, but it's generally not. That is exactly what we want. We want this in R&D. We want these 2 in a remote. We want this in a remote. We want this in a remote. They're gonna I don't think they're gonna run this turn, so I'd rather just double protect this because there's a chance they run it. I don't think they're pawning this, but we know they're also not on Film Critic, which is kind of a good deal, and they'll probably end up about 6 or 7 credits, which might make them want to trash this. What's the record for bad pub? I think I plateau at around 6. I don't think we broke the 7, lose the game. If this deck sucks a lot, any chance of using that region on Jinteki deck so we can see it doing work? But it's probable. It's very easy to make that work. We did it in a harpsichord deck, but it's like very easy to get value here with Jinteki. And they're going to throw some cards out here. Another Proco doesn't matter. But again, if we trash this, they'll be out of a thing for a while. Let's get this going up. Cost us 2 credits. Got the Sapper, they got the SMC. We can jam the false lead in there, which might scare them, because if they end their tag with a turn, their turn with a tag. But I think actually we'll want to get the global food down because it's a card that we want them to steal. And if we score it, it puts us on 4 points, and they have to run most things we double advance. Watch out for the random free USB drives. A lot of shady people leave USB PC killer drives in public areas. Outside police stations. It's the best place to put them. The cops always plug them in. Ben put out a Mwanza deck today if you want to use that as a base. Oh, super cool. They have more money than us. They could consider running this. They have 2 clicks left, so they can get rid of the tags. We can't boost the trace too hard. But they generally want to set up a bunch. They actually might be on like there's a wild chance that they're on Apex's Heartbeat console, which would be pretty rough. This could be just an NGO front, a card that we actually don't have. And a Tech Rider's coming down, so it looks like they're just going to set up. And this looks like they're on the big old breakers. Maybe they're on Maven and all that stuff if their MU used up. And we're going to get free card draw. Oh, that's actually too much card draw, but... Do we have to score the food? I feel like we don't. I really feel like we don't. Because I can is going to make the server look pretty dumb, and we do have an Archer for the remote for... Well, I think we want them to get into R&D. So I guess this is about the time where they consider running. This will put us ahead in credits. Getting this on the table is probably fine too, and I think we actually want to ice this one up. It's another Hyperdriver, and we have a 1 click left, so we know how to play around that. That actually just might be for Hyperdriver, and let's see if they install a card from hand. Alright, let's go. I'll be so happy if this deck wins. What's the chance that we'll ever punitive them out? Unlikely. We probably will score out if anything. But that's a lot of money. They got a lot of credits with the installs on the technical writer, and they can always just pawn this if they need to. They didn't pawn anything this turn, so they're losing out a bit of value. If they could SMC into their Hyperdriver and then install like a cash from hand, golden. And it looks like they're setting up. So we're going to lose the money game eventually, so it's all going to be about the Psychic Field Traps. There's the Harbinger. There's the Parisha. So they might start running stuff. Woo! Too many cards. I think we score this one. And then we leave this one and score next turn. They also might be on Clot. Not largely going to matter. Watch out for the random free speed drives. Wait, did that come in again? Oh no. What happened? We lost chat messages? That's super weird. Okay, so this changes how we play. We have to keep our button on top of this one. Because at any point in time where they take a tag, we can always consult for exchange if they get this one. Which, again, if they get this, we don't have a lot of money. They might think this is a Chrysium. I think Mwanza makes a lot of sense. What's the ruling on punitive GFI? GFI is a 3-pointer. Global Food Initiative is now a 3-pointer. For many years, when the card came out, it was considered a 2-pointer for punitive, but they've reversed that decision. It looks like they're going to go trash this for like what turns out to be 3 credits, which is fine. We might have actually wanted a price tag on top of it, but we'll be okay. I think it does damage equal. Yeah, it's printed. Yo, Nick, what's up? How's it going? So they got 2 bad pub. Stock buybacks doing nothing. We're getting to the point where more economy would be good. Let's top deck a hostile takeover. They don't have a self-modifying code on the table, so they're not threatening Clot, which they could be on Clot. Harbinger. Okay. A lot of money. So this card's really good. Because it's going to be very hard for us to actually tag them with any traces, which unfortunately we don't have. Is the pack implemented on JNet? It's not. It's implemented on some of the test servers, though. They're not showing any breakers yet, so I think we actually can just put this in the server as well. And just maybe click for 2. We could do Sapper here as well, but I think whatever breaker they have is probably good enough to get through this, and I think that's probably fine. We can also put a price X somewhere. Psychic Field is definitely better in a remote than anywhere else, considering if they hit it in central servers, which maybe they have a single legwork, it won't do anything. The amount of money they have is kind of nuts. People were confused why Aesop's Pawn Shop was a restricted card. Well, let me tell you, it's a good one. We can also lose 2 of these. False leads to fast advance. A 1-pointer. And with 2 bad pub, with a multi-threader, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard for us to tax them out. Even this archer, like this archer they get through for what? Like 2 bad pub changes it. 2 breaks all the subs, so it's 3 credits to get through an archer once per turn. Seems good. We can always trade a false lead for a next false lead, but we actually want them to steal agendas if they go for the false lead, because then that turns on our oh, no worries. It turns on our stock buyback, which is a 2 of in the deck. Lamb seems kind of OP. Seems pretty good. Puts a lot of pressure out. Mind you, this is not a really fast deck. Like, we could have rushed behind ice for a while. Like, this is what, like turn 6? And now they're finally like contesting remotes. So they did have some drawbacks there. If you put 3 ice on the remote, even 2 ice on the remote, that's not going to matter. I'm glad that they're playing that for 3 influence. They're running here. I don't think we res that one. If a click left, I think they'll probably take the tag. We definitely don't res that. Actually, oh man, we took out all our 0-point agendas. That's fine. We should have shuffled those. Like, we should have definitely put the agenda behind here and the psychic field in that remote. It'd have been so good. Turn 6 and 2 hyperdivers. Yeah, not too fast, right? All right, they're at 9 credits. Not particularly great. So we could score the food. They're gonna pawn this for going up to 12, but we can score the food, putting us on I think then they run this remote though, which is kind of an issue. And they have to play around like this is an NGO front the whole time, which is kind of good. It threatens all our other ice. Price sec on psychic field. Oh yeah, wait, that just kills people. I totally forgot that it's like a legitimate play. Double archer, mind you, though. That doesn't matter because it's surfer. Yeah, sometimes that just wins you the game, right? If they hit in the right order. Well, the psychic field into price sec kill probably would have went for that remote. Yeah, we could have done that. So there's a chance that they hit the psychic field first, they lose the side game, and then they hit this price sec and then die. It's a 30% chance, I think was what the numbers come down to. Still a chance. Maybe icing R&D is wrong. We want them to run it. There's a lot of money in R&D. They actually paunched up the Harbinger. They didn't even paunch up the Daily Cast, so they did lose some value. I don't think that's right. I think you always want to get as much value as you can. Because we're clearly not rushing them out while they're ahead by, like, mind you, like, they have 14 credits on this. Draw on last click. Proco, it's generally not fine. Takobi's coming out. It's not going to matter too much. It's a very greedy deck. Very good at breaking ice. Luckily, we decided not to run a lot of ice. Gila hands. So we're getting to the point where we're just installing a card into a server. It's just not going to do enough. We have to install 2 cards a turn. That's fine. If you score the food out, chance of server 5 being run goes up maybe, but then you win because you'd be at 5 points. It's true. There's always a chance. So far that shows that we're only on 1 pointers though, so I don't even know if they ever run this. Our punitive play is also pretty bad considering we don't have enough card draw, and we generally need to draw 2 of them in a 54 card deck. Yeah, there's that thing. So hey, guess what? Value Town. Absolute Value Town. So I don't think there's any way we're going to need 2 preemptives. This barrier breaker they break for 2. Technically for free, but it's not bad. Nice econ. I like this card. Gila hands. So we can definitely be on 6 points next turn. It's possible. It's totally possible. Six points is big because now they have to run R&D every turn. Otherwise they lose to the hostile takeover. Running HQ here, they have 1 good trash if they want to get. They hit the preemptive. If they hit this, they would probably trash it too, but they have to break it for 4 credits. I guess it's free with multi-threader and bad pub. So they're going for those runs. Preemptive. Hit the same card twice. It's pretty cool. This point save the GFI for the win. I don't know. Kind of. I'd actually rather res it, just because then they have to run R&D into this. We haven't seen any snares yet, so there's a chance they'd lose to the Mwanza. The problem is that as soon as we score that GFI, we don't have a lot of... Oh, they have a turning wheel. Turning wheel plus Mwanza? Oh my god. Fuck. No, we have to score it. 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 We have to score it So turning away on the Mwanza, they're going to trash all the snares. We can preemptive them back in. Oh, wait, no, we threw that out. This is bad. Hold on, sorry. We want this, because eventually they'll trash our snares, and we need those back in the deck. This card gives us money, which is pretty good. This card costs them... It's a tax, though. We just don't have enough ice to tax them out. I guess if we do... Nah, it's probably just not going to work out. They'll probably trash it on HQ eventually. I think Gila Hands in the last cube draft I ran, it was so wonderful. Punitive is kind of dead, right? No, not at all. Oh, because they have so many credits? Maybe, but this can be a cool credit card. There's also a chance that we have 2 punitives and we like false lead them into some point. They're going to be hitting a lot of cards though with Turning Wheel into maybe the other one. It'd be sad if they run server 5 this turn. Yeah, but that's fine. I don't think Sapper's a really good trap because they have a way to deal with it. It's probably better in R&D where we can hit 2 of them and then the Lamb actually gets screwed when it hits 2 of them in a single run. Can't res that. I wonder if they used the Turning Wheel before. Yes, they're doing Turning Wheel. Oh my god. They're doing Turning Wheel into this, so we're going to get buckets of credits. Literally buckets of credits, which means if we top deck in Consulting, like we can just false lead into the win here. Like we are going to make, I think it's like 14 credits on this. Yeah, they also have Sack on, yeah, so it's not particularly that great. We just can't fire Snare, though. That's a big issue. Woo! Trash the Mwanza first. Okay, that's 5 credits down. Hit a Psychic Field, fine. 4 credit swing. Trash the Boom, fine. Hit a Snare, can't fire it. Feel dumb. Corey, what's up? Trash another Mwanza. Good thing we had the preemptive. Features now. Let's see what they take. If they take a tag, they took 2 new damage. Take another Gila. What are they taking? Oh, we gotta think. We may have to false lead here. If we top deck into things, we gotta figure out. Okay, hold on. Okay, so the top deck is neither a trashable or something else. The chance of it being a punitive, we'd have to do like punitive to punitive, which is impossible. So I think this is fine. It's all good. We have more money than them. So I think they clear the tag, pop one of these. Was there a false lead play there? I think actually they keep the Mwanza down. But like 2 snares there would have been lethal. And I know maybe they ran when we had no money. But that was really fun. And there you go. Take 8. So let's see if we get a punitive at the top. We got a price deck, which they didn't trash. As soon as we play the stock buyback, they probably slow down. I think we just need to get the snares back in the deck. And we definitely need to get the Mwanzas back as well. If they run this, it's bad. If they run this, it's okay. They know that we top deck this, so I don't think they run whatever server we put it on. Putting this on R&D is probably the best. I think we're going to lose off of R&D if anywhere. We'll put this on R&D. We'll put this on R&D. And we have enough money for all the snares, so we'll preemptive back. I want 2 of these back and 1 snare. The boom is a bit of liability. The preemptive is another liability, but just hopefully somehow we win off of the preemptive. Or off the hostile. What's in the remotes? This one is the Prysec into Psychic. This is forced into Prysec. So even if we draw 1 pointer and jam it in there, it's going to be pretty good. Because if we have our exchange also, we need to get them a food. We need to give them a food. Because as soon as we give them a food and we do false lead exchange, we can win. Like, we have a fair bit of outs here. The problem is their economy is like crazy. But it actually doesn't matter that much, considering we only have like 1 trace in our deck. Issues are ice as shit. Like normally Anarchs will struggle to get through this. It'll be like 10 credits with 2 bad pub. And that's really good. We've been playing against a lot of efficient breakers, which is weird because I don't know if that's where the meta is right now. That's where the meta is right now? Are people running big ice? I think it's like Asmari, right? I guess Lamb's really good against endless EULA. People play that a lot. It's also totally worth noting that we shuffled the deck by playing preemptive. So the top deck is new. If we top deck a hostile takeover, if we don't have a SMC on the table, a self-modifying code, we can fast advance. Ice doesn't seem in meta as usual. It probably just got a bit worse too with the new 0. Or Hippo, excuse me. So we have a big turn next turn. They didn't run. Give us a hostile. It's a 2 in 30. 1 in 15 chance. Win on the spot. Damn, we're good. Oh, that's actually really good. Keep going. Woo! Now the problem is next turn they do hyperdriver, so they have like 1 billion clicks, so there's no way that we trap them onto the server 3 here. So I think we're just going to go ahead and heal a hands up. Gila Hansing up is actually not even that good anyways, because the money doesn't matter that much. It's all about like the false leads and the tempo. So if we drop a Gila Hands here, they can always trace beat us, always clear the tag. I can always take a 2 meat damage for this. So I think we might draw once more and then play stock buyback. That's interesting. I'll take the money. I mean, SSO runs ice. SSO hasn't been that popular in my meta since the like 2 weeks it came out, and then everyone got really bored with it because all the SSO decks are like largely the same. It's kind of the issue though with those sort of like IDs that have like a very limited amount of card pool that they work well with. Specifically, any ice that runs says advanceable on it that isn't trash. Most of them are good. So like every SSO deck is good. It seems worse than Titan. Yeah, competitively, yes. It's definitely worse than Titan. So if we do have more money than them, if they do run this remote and we fire the trace off, I think we straight up win. If this trace ever fires, actually no, we need to get a food. New rule, whenever you say, damn, I'm good, you have to do the Nat Hall pose. And chat takes a shot. What is the Nat Hall pose? It's like thumbs out or something? Oh wait, this could be bad for us. That's pretty bad for us. That's not good. Definitely take, what? Just take the meat damage. Who cares? Your time is better. We're going for the win here, huh? Hit the punitive. Punitive for 1. Let's go. Value. This can't be right. This can't be the right card. If this will Scorch, like the new Scorch, the high threat target, be pretty good. Hit the boom, they probably trash that one. Maybe they're hoping to win off of Mwanza. And the exchange is actually not even that good right now. And the problem with the exchange is as soon as they get it, as soon as they get the food, they're on game point. Blowing smoke off the finger guns. Damn, I'm good. So building up the turning wheels for R&D. They still need a fair bit of agendas. That's a clot. So if we don't chop deck something good here, we can just purge a bunch. Ooh, we did get the Mwanza. Ooh, that's risky. So what are our options? Jam this into the remote. They have to run it. No hostiles. Come on. Ah, play nice. If they run this, what happens? They're going to start the turn with 25 credits. Exchange doesn't matter. So I think we just purge. This might make them run HQ though. What's the game plan here? Draw a hostile, win? Otherwise, wait for them to expend more money than they could running a remote. Hopefully, we just need to get them a food largely. If they get a food, we have a win condition. Even a 0-pointer would have been sweet. Like a 0-pointer, the standoffs in the deck would be really good because exchanging a 0-pointer for a 1-pointer is also like a legit line of play. And it's another good install advance play. And the thing is like, yeah, I think we need to get the 0-pointers back into the deck. Because install advance a 0-pointer, you're fine with it no matter what. Wands server 5 for maximum lols. That's actually a legal play. Turning wheel, hit the punitive, hit the turning wheel again. They might be just going R&D here. They might just access all of HQ. It looks like we had a punitive, or what's it called, in hand, hostile. And they might actually have another SACCON in hand, but they're just like wasting our turns here. They actually 2 SACCONs in the bin. All right, they're going for it. The bailiff will give us credits back. Now we can't false lead them, but there's a chance they hit price like into snare, into GFI. Oh, nice. Thank you. Okay, so we can't false lead them there. If they hit the food and if they hit food snare, we win. All right, halfway there. They have a tag, mind you. Please get a food. It's important you get a food. Fuck! Please get a food. No! Dang! Crap! How many agendas? I don't know. We'd have to check. 16. Oh man, if they had a food, we win. Also, we had the new Scorch, we win. Like if this boom or the punitive was the new Scorch, we also win. Right? Because they're going to end their turn with 1 tag. Maybe 2 tags. Woo! Oh, we win. What? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! They killed themselves! Oh no! They took the damage, and then this is a Prysec, which you don't need to res, and it killed them. Cranked, what's up? Yeah, they take the damage, they're dead. They're not just dead. They were actually dead. No, they weren't dead there because of punitive. We couldn't have punitive them. We just didn't have enough money. If we did like Elanta money. Ooh, that doesn't feel good. Thought it was a Mwanza. Yeah, I think we would have rezzed if it was a Mwanza. Yeah, it's true. What are some better corp decks that have been decent matchups across the board? Cody, that question is such a difficult question right now because the new data pack actually disrupts that in a very meaningful way. I think one of the best corps that just have standard good matchups would be like Asa and Asmari because they don't do anything flashy. They have like really solid packages to do a lot of things and they have good economy built into them. You could win the punitive trace, I think. I don't think we could. Like they have 20 credits, we have 14. Yeah, it works if on res. We don't have to res this one. Why don't you need to res price tag when you need to res Maryland campaign for it to go off? They both stay installed. It has to do with the subtleties of timings of ambush cards. I don't know whether there's a certain sentence in the rule books. Kinchin also has it going that says that ambush cards text is okay. But if a card ever says if the runner accesses with text, it's fine. But like the text on the Maryland has to do more with like how it goes. It's not being accessed, so no one's reading the text. It's true. I think it's like an if and when thing. I think actually that's the ruling. It has to do with something about if and when clauses. I don't know. Largely it's just if it's an ambush, it always fires. Hey, cheers. Thanks for the game, eh? Alright, so what did we learn here? I think we honestly had a good enough shot. We need to get them the food. I think having more cards in our deck is probably a mistake, so we can probably just go ahead and cut out a couple 1-pointers. Yeah, we can make this strictly better. I like the 0 points in the deck, but it seems kind of hard to get that going. So here, what do? We want to go down to 49 cards so that we have any chance of killing with the... we have any chance of punitiving 1-pointers. We almost could have punitive 1-pointers, right? So let's get some cards out of here. We can drop the food. Actually, no, we want foods. Let's drop 2 1-pointers. The worst 1-pointers are illicit sales, probably. Money doesn't matter that much in this deck. I like illicit more than Gila hands, though. It seems more fun. And we gotta drop 3 cards. Still hoping for a Psychic Field prize set kill. Totally legitimate way to win. So what else is good? Probably need 1 fewer preemptives. 2 consulting, 2 boom. We actually could go 1 of each, like 2 and 1. Drop sappers, not like you need them. Yeah, you're right. They're kind of cute with the other ones, but like, yeah, I think they don't do enough. All right, this is a more consistent, guaranteed protection deck. Good luck, us. You're just tuning in, by the way. My name is Andre. How's it going? We are playing an Argus 1-point punitive deck, which is probably not a recommended thing to do, but it's been going good. If you're new to this channel, come say hi. How's it going? Ask questions. I'm a bit more manic today because I'm uncomfortably warm, but always friendly enough, I hope. Hey Nick, what's up? Was a close game. That GFI that sat in server 1 was rough. I was hoping you thought it was an NGO. There's a chance we would have waited till we're on game point and then scored it, which would have been hilarious. Are we up to probably protection? Maybe protection. Protection not guaranteed. I think that's the name of the film, right? Alright, so I'm satisfied because it won. I'm super surprised that we won that way. That was not the out that we considered having. The out that we considered having had an exchange in it. We still have 2 consultings, right? Yeah, thank God. Okay, that's very necessary. And like, imagine that. Imagine Wayland had a bad card that if you run it with advancement counters, it would be bad for you. And then you actually do have a good trap deck. Something that only Jintegi, I think, can largely do right now. Maybe Beal or no Beal works in Harpsichord. But that's the problem, is you can generally run every card. Sometimes you hit a price tag, sometimes that's bad, but just run every single card. You'll be fine. Have good economy, run every card. Oh my God, it's warm. It is. I don't know how people, how do you, meant to bike to work. It's gonna die. All right. So I guess this might be a good enough time to start talking about the new cards, right? So there's a new count siphon, huh? What's it called? So, what is the new count siphon? Division, diversion, diversion. Okay, so this is what I'm really scared about. Let's start. False flag gives tags now. Don't run false flag. There's no reason to run false flag. If they're gonna spend 3 turns scoring a 3-pointer, they deserved it. They literally deserved it. Okay, so this is the new account siphon, right? And there's a couple differences about it. Firstly, it's 1 more influence. It costs 1. Great. But the biggest difference is that it doesn't give tags. It gives a bit less money. It's no longer 15 credit tempo swing, not including ice on HQ. It's now a 9 credit swing. You can score false flag in 2 turns with Mushin. I'm not excited about that. It's all the things. Like you motion it, then you jam it out, and you spend like 100 credits on it. Because false flag only makes sense in a deck that's also running government takeover, and we're clearly not doing that. Okay, so like basic talk about this thing, why it scares the shit out of me, is that this doesn't give you tags. It doesn't give you any tags, and while the tags were actually kind of a thing that made account siphon really powerful back in the day, because we had other cards like data leak reversal, and it made those archetypes really strong. And if this card gave tags and you could spam it, which is a bit harder to spam too, considering it's a double, other cards would be really good, like counter surveillance, and that would be a huge issue. But it doesn't do that. We gotta get back to that conversation. But the biggest issue I have specifically with that thing is now you can put it in any deck. You can legitimately put this in any deck because there's very little drawback to it. And the fact that we've printed these cards this cycle that are 1 influence options, you should be expecting just about every criminal game to be turn 1 Gabahali into diversion of accounts. That's fucking terrifying. DDoS into diversion, Gabahali into diversion, Kangamato into diversion. That seems like fucked. No, we can do better. Yeah, that's good enough. Hey Magnus, what's up? You know, it's gonna be a good day when you're waking up and never in a live stream. What time is there in Montreal? It's Montreal, yeah. Have a nice Friday. Thanks, you too, Magnus. Oh, where you at? Right now it's 11:07. I'm assuming you're up probably maybe like 6 in the morning. 5 influence. Yeah, Blue Cypher, what's up? Is that a new thing? It is. It's actually the first criminal 5 influence card. And I don't think 5 influence will keep it in criminal. There's no reason why it has to. It's super cool in thanks. Best of luck, have fun. It's probably playable in Atom. It's in criminal, it's really good because like turn 1 influence Gabahali into account siphon seems nuts. So we want to install this on a turn that we install other stuff. Right now we can just install this into R&D and click for credits. We kind of have the setup where if they go into R&D and hit 2 snares in a row, it'd be really good for us. So I think we'll just take some money. We can't afford 2 snares, but it's the best. Yeah, Fanside Shadow Net's also like a very low influence thing, and it makes that one thing. And that's the thing is like back in the day, you couldn't run those crazy things like Fanside Shadow Net in big recursion decks that wanted to recur account siphon because you had to clear the tags. And now you don't have to care about that shit. So you can run like resource recursion decks while running account siphon. Level 3 MOL, WL kept cards out of other factions, right? Yeah, but that's not a thing anymore. I don't think it'll be that bad. Also, criminal is incredibly messed state right now. That's true. Ooh, that's definitely true. But that's a fun turn 1. But it's definitely scary because like at turn 1, if you can't stop the siphon, you res your ice. You can't res your ice. I don't know, DDoS. You're just going to have not a lot of money. And that's the thing, yeah, Last Warrior, Logic Bomb into Diversion is possible. And if you're playing all the resources, the directives, you're not floating tags anymore. You can do that turn 1, and now the corp is fucked. They have to click for credits. You're seeing the top card of R&D. Like, it's definitely not as good as Account Siphon, but it's insane. It's still insane. Criminal has to pay influence for both money and breakers right now. Yeah, totally. Totally. Wait, they just went down to 0 credits? While accessing an ID, they're accessing 4 cards, hitting an ID that says a tag or meet while they have no money. I think they might have made a goof here. Motion flag, res, dedicate, advance, click. Oh no. Turn 2, kill hit. It's possible. We don't have enough snare money, unfortunately. Like we're 1 credit short of snare money. They can't. If they hit another thing, they have to take the meat damage. This is going to work out for them because we have no punishment. But like it's now 17-0. Unfortunately, we can't leverage that in any meaningful way. Begs the question, why would you play them over any other faction? Criminals probably still aren't great right now. They don't have a lot of like strong win conditions. I think we just do these. I think we draw once more. So if we had hard-hitting news, that'd be really easy, right? But we don't. Our other play with consulting visit is exchange. That went way worse than it, way better than it should have. Grand Geist was already pretty decent before Siphon. Yeah, man, that punitive now, right? Punitive. Consulting punitive. 2 damage. Let's go. If we had a snare, we actually could have got away with that, maybe. Yeah, Criminal still has issues, but like you can play 3 Siphons in an Anarch deck. It probably is okay. Just okay. I'm just really scared for turn 1 Siphon because Gabahali Kangamato Siphon turn 1 is going to make your games not fun for a bit. And then like other plans are better. Like you could do like Fisk while they have 2 credits and be like, fuck it, I don't care. Note from the nurse, drinking water before you sleep reduces your risk of a heart attack during your sleep. Now I'm more worried about having a heart attack during my sleep. Drinking water is just a good thing to do. I played Doof Haley when Easter egg against AOT and Architect Tomorrow. They never had more than 8 credits the whole game. I don't know what Doof Haley is. So we could score this. Doesn't really do much. I don't think they're going to run it. The thing is, if we score this, we throw out cards. Generally, we want to ice up R&D. Yeah, it feels like we should be doing more. Oh, diversion of funds. Cool, cool, cool. We're calling it Doof. Nice. Yeah, Doof. Test run. Installing a program. It's a Magnum. That's a restricted card. They can hit that a couple times, and then it either goes back or they're going to scavenge it. Either way, now they have economy. Good for them, I guess. We only have one of these. This seems like an important card. Our hand seems really good. I guess the consulting is the worst one. If we give them a food, like if they hit a food that turn 1, we won. Like there was actually a bunch of ways we won. If they hit a snare, we won. If they hit a food, we won. So we kind of got a bit unlucky there. That turn 1 play though was pretty wrong. I think unarguably. Like there's no way you do that. This also makes Tester and Scavenge a bunch more clumsy. We don't need that agenda. It could be in Reyna with Hippo. Seems fine. Also, you run Lamprey. Seems fine. Like, there's some pretty good things to do. Fan site, like, it's pressure. It's some pressure. Also, the new code gate breaker for Criminal is legitimately good. As long as you credit kiting it. If you credit kiting it, it's a good breaker. And it's another card that keeps the runner down. And this is also probably the biggest thing about diversion of funds that I'm scared about. For months. For months. I've been saying that this card is not a good thing to exist. It seems to me like a kind of... And I'm not saying that just generally, but like... Okay, it seems like an issue. This is a problem card. And this card was never that good because like the pressure of account siphon was never that real. But now that you have many ways to deny the corp economy, it's not that difficult. They hit our boom. God damn it. It's not that difficult to put the corporation in a position where they can't res anything. And that was the issue with the diversion of funds. The corporate grant decks. These were too slow. And now you have a way to slow down the corp so your Rubicon gets good. There's a lot of really mean stuff out there. Hey, Chemo, how's it going? I don't think much of diversion of funds when I saw it. Seems more like a tolerable siphon. The concern is just that there are more cards to get through HQ turn 1. It's definitely a concern, but also there's a lot of other combo things. We've seen so many econ denial cards at Criminal that have been largely not good because they don't have this backbone. Cards like D-Res, cards like Corporate Grant, and those are coming back. But I think turn 1 Kongamato into like diversion is going to be real fun to play around. We really don't have a punish for this. We legitimately don't have a punish. Oh, that's good. I guess we do have the false lead, but we need them to steal an agenda, a food. Maybe we just don't run only 1-pointers. Maybe we run other cards than Atlas. We're discovering something really important here. Oh, they're hitting this. I like this one. Why are they running their stuff? Could have been an archer. Fuck it, we'll draw one. Ooh! Mm. Hit a food. Hit a food, my friend. Hit a food, you lose. 3 and 35, 1 and 11-ish. No dice. Turn 1 DOF isn't that good if you res an ice and bankrupt yourself, I suppose. No, you're right, it's not. It's better with DDoS, but if you res the ice, yeah, I guess you bankrupted yourself. So, like, medium, okay. I don't want to res this. It makes us discard another card. That's a lot. We have no bad publicity. So this is what? Score. Take 1 bad publicity from illicit sales. I think we're not going to do that just because the other one's in the bin. If the other one wasn't in the bin, we'd consider doing it. JR Tester sounds like a transparent Smurf account name. I don't know. It might be. I didn't see what they're... You can always do this, right? If you go down to the play lobby, which actually we can't check, you can see how many games they played, and you can see if they're a Smurf if they have like not enough data. Or they also could just be new to the game, but I'm not worried about that. Because the way they're playing is kind of strange. We have 2 punitives. They have not enough money. I think this will be okay for us. Ideally, it's snare into food. We win. Why is Smurf the word for that? Honestly, no idea. It's like really old. It goes back to like I think StarCraft. I don't know. I hope it's not offensive in some way, but you might want to Google that. It's not like a Netrunner thing. It's like most online games or anything with a handle. Smurfing is like a player playing with a fake account, generally to play in a lower division so that they can increase ranks. Ooh. Oh, this seems important. Oh, I think we win. Yeah, I think we win. So we have to make it trace 3. Yeah. Oh, I guess they can clear 1 tag. Yeah, we don't straight win. If they have 1 click left, we straight win. Okay, we have to like really sit on the trigger here. Okay, well, they cleared a tag. Okay, they cleared another tag. Again, we don't have hard-hitting news or C-source, so we look really stupid. Our Argus deck would be strictly better if it wasn't a Mushin Wanza deck. Not a real surprise. But they are playing in a way that they probably shouldn't. They also hit no agendas. Let's kick it up. All right. Warcraft 2 is what's quoted as being coined. Oh, it's super cool. It's a bit older than I thought it was. What's Gargamel Warcraft 2? There's actually like a Smurf class. It was largely not played that much. The orcs were pretty strong. We're drawing 2 cards a turn. Our hand's kind of rough right now. Kind of rough. I think we'll actually like cycle this back through our deck. I don't care if they run R&D. Seems pretty good. I kind of want to protect. I think we protect the price deck. They really don't have any breakers. And we got to get a bit more money in. We spend a bit on that. If they trash that, so be it. Let's get some cards back in our deck. I love this card too much to not play it. This is actually a really good trap. It looks like it's winning us the game because of the way they're playing, but we still have 3 snares in our deck. Let's put that agenda back. It's a fun one. And we might have bad pub soon. Coined by Jeff Frazier and Greg Boyko, who played the online multiplayer game Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness under the names Schlonger and Warp. Their pair had become so proficient at the game that few players would play against them, so in order to avoid scaring off potential competitors, they paid create alternate account. They pop a Smurf and Smurfette. Oh, super cool. Gain 9. Good turn. 3 punitives. We got a plan. They're going to steal 1 pointer and we'll punitive them. Man, this thing is killing us that we're drawing all our operations. I'll click for 2. It's fine. It's acceptable. We actually could throw this one out. It does represent our boom, which is something that they're not playing around that well, but we probably could have thrown that out and kept our stock buyback. Stock buyback is actually pretty bad with punitive because it's a terminal, but it's something. What's that criminal breaker that makes the corp lose credits? It's called Amina or Amina. It's an alt art at upcoming events at regionals. It's honestly not bad. 7 is the biggest issue with it, but these numbers are like straight up pretty good. It breaks pretty good ice for usually 4 credits. I think it's gonna be pretty great. You just need a credit kiting it out, which is a thing. Sorry, we gotta jump back to the other game. Yeah, you gotta do that. Feedback filter. Okay. Nick, what's up? How's the Plague Doctor deck going? Any more testing? Did a lot more testing. Made 1 change to it. Took out a same old thing for Utopia Shard. I think you also consider taking out the Levy for Utopia Shard. I really dig it. It's one of my favorite decks I think I've ever built. It's a lot of fun. I'd be playing it tonight if I was playing Netrunner for fun on the internet, but we are trying to do other things. It's great. Also, Soul Storm, how's it going? No kiting. I played it tonight and felt okay about it. Tell me a bit more about your deck. Also, welcome. That's my aunt's name. It's Amina. Hey, Apathy, that's really cool. Can I ask a bit about what kind of name that is in terms of like the ethnicity or heritage? Item, if DOF becomes the new Hondas, there's still corp outs for gaining money from nothing. All corps running NGO front can click for credit and launch back again. Yeah, there's definitely counters to it. Mwanza City Grid is cool. There's a zero cost NBN operation that just came out on the court side. Like there's ways to come back. The thing is, it's still pretty scary. Like if you go down to 0 credits, they can run R&D, they can trash your NGOs from the top. They can play currents to stop you from resing them. Oh man, they're playing pipeline? That actually deals with this relatively well. Okay, we're not resing this because we overdraw too much. Holy shit, are we overdrawing? I think we actually trashed one of these. So they still can't get through that, which seems good. We could do the Psychic Field prize tag. We don't have to score this yet. We kind of wanted a bad pub. If the runner trashes, okay, so we can actually trash over that. I kind of want to trash over that. This is not a particularly useful card. I feel like we should just do something good here. I feel like we did this wrong. There's a chance that this will be lethal. Credit, I guess? I don't know. We're not doing much. Just playing for fun on the internet. Does that mean playing with us is not fun? Oh, no, but like, not at all. Farthest from that. I hope that's obvious. But no, I mean like if I was not making content and trying to try new things out, I just don't want to show up 2 weeks in a row and play the same decks, you know? That's funny though. Just 419 pile of cards using diversion of funds and then Amina, excuse me, to grant to keep it. My family is Pakistani on my mom's side, but it's a pretty standard Muslim name. Excellent, thank you. Oh man. All right, Maker's Eye. Again, there's a chance I lose. Not respecting that. That's fine. They're accessing with 1 click left with 1 credit. How they have not got punished for this yet. Like this, they can't trash Psychic Field. Oh, Cyber Deal, they have 2 credits. Okay, they can trash Psychic Field now. That's not that big of a deal. Now they can clear the tag. If they didn't have enough money to clear a tag, it'd look really silly. But like, just please hit a snare. It's important you hit a snare in this run. Actually, do we only have 2 snares in this deck? I fucking hate this deck now. That's the biggest mistake. I'm wondering why they haven't been punished by this yet. It's because we have 2 snares. Only saw it against Wayland, and the code gates are really bad against Amina. Yes, they are. Paying 7 for it and running into Toll Booth sounds embarrassing. No, you wouldn't do it for fun. You do it as a breaker. Nothing. They saw nothing. Amina is also Portuguese slang for the girl. Used in kind of a slutty one. Great. Okay, I think we're just going to score out the futures now, which lets us pull... Oh, they hit in the factory. Can't trash that. Running last click, they probably want to take the meat damage. If that was a what's it called? A price tag would be pretty good. They're going to leave us with that one. When you score, search R&D for card and add it to HQ. That's not a May ability. That's a mandatory ability. Seems kind of rough. Well, it is kind of rough. Ha! We had to score a bunch of 1-pointers. I guess we do that and get a food. And then we throw this out. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, then we have too many cards. Okay, so we'll prep this for the next turn. We'll do advanced scoring's all food. Sorry. With Rubik on Switch and like you can make the Amina. Am I saying it right? Amina? You can make that actually pretty like obnoxious. Gaining 8 seems good. 10 credits. Let us score this. We don't even have to reveal it. Oh, we hit our friend here. So we're gonna do advanced. Score it. Find that food. We want that food. The food. Put that in server 1. Can't get through that yet. Put this on R&D. That was a really good turn. That is it exactly. Ah, thank you, Apathy. A huge help. Time for Punitive Food Feeder to do its thing. Yep. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're going live. They still can't bear with a bailiff. The archer is like 300 credits with pipeline. They might be on StimHack. They also might be on Fem because they did play test run. So either of those are fine. But they have to deal with both of them. And they're still going to take some tags. And we have false lead. And we have exchange. Things might be okay for us. As the Guardian Blade. Oh yeah, they don't have a Code Gate Breaker. I totally forgot about that. Mind you, they're playing U-Backs, which is a cool value card. I've seen some. Cody was playing a lot of this. Captain Cody, Outworlds. Loved it in his deck. He has his deck published. It's kind of cool. This should be enough value, man. Do you splash this? No good accesses here. Looks like we're getting away with this remote. Please run R&D. Please, last click into Wanza. It's gonna be so good. I just hit the Psychic Field. We still can't kill you. Oh, thank you. You hit a Psychic Field. Alright, so here we roll the dice a bit. It's been very hard to get a read on them. They're not playing in any way that we find it readable. Whether that's going to affect their Psychic Field play, it's a different question altogether. Our next turn is Advance. Ah, beans. Go for 1 Poglos. Perfect read. They even trashed it. I don't think you ever trash that. It lets us recur it. There's no reason to trash it. You just spent 4 credits on that. I guess we only spent 2. That's it for clicks. We spent 0. How good we would have been. We would have been really good. Oh, that's actually really good too. So that protects that technically. Even if they hit it though, it's not that bad for us because they generally have to take a Tiger Meat. And we actually honestly want to give them the food. We could have put the food in the remote. That being said, if we score this food next turn, we maybe win. If we score the food into our illicit sales friend here. Man, that art is fun. Go for 1, I guarantee success. Nothing's guaranteed in this deck though. That's been the issue so far. So I think that's pretty much on brand. So 2 Maker's Eyes in. They might have indexing. They're going for the remote. And let me tell you, the remote is going to end the run. We could res the Archer just to get value because they have to spend a lot of money breaking it. But I don't want to because if we res the Archer, we forfeit a real agenda and then we can't score next turn. The Bailiff is going to do enough work because they don't have a barrier breaker. And if they want to pull out their Battering Ram or equivalent, it's going to be a couple card draws. They still have a lot of cards in their deck and more installs. And they can't do it that turn. So that means this food is largely safe. Again, we could have considered just giving them the food. They take the meat damage, maybe take a tag here. If they take 2 tags, they can exchange it, but what, I'll just score it. We know they're not on turntable. If they're on turntable, it's kind of different, I guess. I've been playing turntable shipper. I don't think JR Tester could break the Archer. Did we do the math? 2 credits plus 1 strength. This would be 12. Oh yeah, you're right. They probably couldn't. That's fine. Ooh, another Psychic Field. So we need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 credits. So it's in our best interest to pay very little on that. Luckily, they paid 2. So we're going to hit them with the hand. They can prevent some of the damage if they want. It's going to be really expensive to keep the whole hand. Just 12 to avoid the trash programs. Yeah, that's a lot. Maui, 0 is the right call. 2-second delay, though. Oh, they're actually paying it. They're paying it. They can't pay all of it, though. So they're just saving some cards. So it's like drawing is worth 3 or the cards in their hand is so good. But it's random what they lose, so... I don't know if you want to go spend... They just spent like, 8 credits on that. They lost a Diesel and a Feedback Filter. They're running 2 of that. They really don't like that net damage. Oh, now my Windows is goofed up and it says activate Windows down there. That's embarrassing. Okay, so 0 credits. Again, literally no way to punish them. We could just score at the illicit sales, or we could score at the food. I think scoring at the food is probably fine, or leaving the food is probably okay. It's probably okay. Nah, because this has a chance of having us to res the Archer. It's 0 credits, like, I'm not really scared. They could fem this, get in. Yeah, maybe they do credit, test run, fem run. It's probably bad for them anyways. Ah, whatever, we'll score this. There's a chance keeping this agenda is actually better. They can get it, and that will slow them down, but maybe if they get this one, we jam an agenda in here. So otherwise, we would have considered throwing that out for sure. Okay, no credits, 2 cards in hand, behind by a solid 5 points. Now, the Mwanza City Grid could lose us the game if we res it, right? They hit food into No, it's pretty unlikely that we do lose the game because of Wanza. Yeah, 1 turn likely. So we beautifully, can res this and that and be fine. This one doesn't matter that much. This would cost us money, so we don't want to res it. We also don't want to draw anymore. We have everything we need. There's a chance that if we want to be really greedy, we could set up the single punitive, this single 1-point punitive kill. There's also a chance that we didn't res this, and I think we could have killed with the punitive. Was a chance of that. We could have maybe falsely it into punitive. We'd have to hit 2 punitives. We'd have to do the math, but there's actually a possibility that was right. Because we would have had an extra 7 credits? 9 credits? We would have been at like 14. We'd pay 2 for that. It's actually possible. We could have just punitive them if we let them in. Okay. They don't legitimately have that many plays. I think the best is probably take 6 for an R&D, hope for the best. They could poke server 4, but it looks like we're going to get it. I think they'll have to compile to get into server 4. Careful planning is a priority event. That's not going to work. Maybe they're on an inside job, but server 4 is looking pretty good right now. I think compile is the one scary one. Diana's Hunt. That works too. Draw. Okay, that's it. Again, these cards have done nothing. No bad publicity. Yeah, we'll take a bad publicity right there. And we gain 3 credits. Hey, good game. All right, so we never saw a snare in there. We didn't see anything really. I forgot we were not on 2 snares. I don't know, man. The snares seem really good with the Mwanza. It seems really important that we get those to fire. I think we actually need more snares in our deck. 2-0, this deck is OP. This deck is, man. Is anyone going to Euros on the weekend? Because let me tell you, I have an offer for you. Oh man, this needs to win. That opponent was terrible. That's a rude way of putting it. I think they're probably newer to the game. They're playing a lot of the cards that looks like from the core set originally. Like there's almost no reason why you need to play Pipeline, so they might just have a limited card pool and they're newer to the game. Their plays weren't like objectively good. Like turn 1 run R&D into that is, I think, almost always wrong if I'm not mistaken. They're also not respecting things like hard hitting news, but if they can get punished the first turn. Sorry, sure they're a nice person, but the play wasn't optimal. Yeah, it was not optimal play. That's fine. Hey Rohit, how's it going? Do people still play By Any Means? I thought there was some hype for that card. I haven't seen it for a while, but Rohit, I think you're going to see it a bit more coming up in the near future. There's a data pack that came out today that had a really powerful card that supports the self-damage Anarch the archetype, and By Any Means fits into that. I think most recently I saw By Any Means in decks that were running like counter surveillance, having a lot of tags, running R&D, and trashing a lot of cards or all of HQ, stuff like that. Now the problem with these decks that had big hand sizes, had a lot of tags with them, they got a lot worse because of another card that came out today that makes those decks really scary. So those are going to be less common, but I do expect those to see in the self-damage Anarch decks that actually really like that card. And don't forget to activate your Windows. Yeah, right? I have a legit copy of Windows. It's actually having problems activating it. I can't change my desktop background. We'll do one more. It's 11:33. Actually, no, we won't do one more. We're going to do another game. Jamie threw the deck at us, and I think it's an interesting enough deck. It has a nice, like, Hearthstone reference in it, even Paladin. So we said we'd try this one out. We'll get a game in at the end. We saw the beginning of the stream if you were around for there, so it's you kind of know what we're walking into. We'll talk about it. It's an interesting deck. Paparazzi, yeah, exactly. Those decks are running Paparazzi, the self-tag decks. They'd run Paparazzi so they couldn't be tagged or couldn't be hurt, and then they'd By Any Means trash like 10 cards off the top of R&D or all of HQ. I thought that was kind of greedy and not strictly necessary, but it's a thing. I mean, By Any Means works really well with Paparazzi, which is one of the only ways to survive. Yeah, I guess so, but you trash Paparazzi before. Okay, so this is Jamie's Quetzal deck, and the basic idea is you have Quetzal's ability, which gets some early pressure, and then you have Lamb, which can make anything a barrier. You have Morningstar that breaks most things, and you have Surfer that you can get through a lot of ice at once. And Jamie and I share decks a lot, and I'm like pretty burst when it comes to deck feedback. I think there's a lot of things with this deck that I don't specifically like. I don't think this deck at all needs a levy, considering it has like no card draw. It does have frantic coding, but like you're not gonna frantic coding more than once. I think you might be better off playing Page Piper and playing some better draw cards in your deck. And besides the run economy, the economy of the deck is actually really weak. It's only daily cast liberated counts at sure gamble. And you do have some run economy with Spinal Modem, but any sort of matchup where it matters about sitting back and like contesting hard hitting news or resources, you're in a really bad spot. Also, if the retrieval run doesn't go off, I think you lose the game a lot of times. I think that was the way that we didn't lose. But the Dirty Laundry also, it's kind of cool because you're running a lot. I guess that's another econ card. You're running once per turn. I think his version also had mining in it. So his version was probably more new than this one. So maybe we have a bad version. Maybe he published the other version. Or, excuse me, they published the other version. Let's see. No, I don't think so. So we'll just do this one. The other one had mining accident, had some changes in it. Whatever, we'll do it. We'll try it. With 3 times ret run, you would expect inject. Yeah, does this not even have inject? Yeah, it has inject. It has inject. So that's fine. Like, that's the only draw card it has, and that's kind of bad. Like, you saw on their turn, a lot of times they're doing, like, draw, credit, run. And, like, it worked out for them really well because their deck had literally no defensive upgrades. We couldn't capitalize on credits. We couldn't capitalize on anything. We were running Eli 2.0. But in a lot of other decks, it's going to be a legitimate issue. I think also you don't need 3 Surfer. You probably only need 2. But this is where it was as a start. I know there's a better version of the deck somewhere. I don't know if it's been published. I think I've seen it though. New runner. Quetzal. Man, there's a really fun deck list that I don't know why what just happened? I don't know if it fell out of meta, but if you've ever seen I think it's Justin's like top 32 Quetzal deck from Worlds last year. It's so fun, and the package that it's based on is still really good. And I think it's strange that it's not seeing more play. It runs the Stim Plants package. It's like really good. I can see a version of this which is just Mopus. Yeah, Mopus is another option. How's it going, Moomin? Like, Mopus is an option, and that's all the economy you need, and with Mopus and your breakers, that's enough. Mopus is really good with frantic coding. It's another good reason why Page Piper would be good in the deck. That being said, you're going to run out of MU real fast, because this is 2 MU, this is 2 MU, Surfer's 1 MU, and Mopus is 2 MU. So there has to be some considerations to be made here. Cut Frantic and Levy for Career Fair and Earthrise, maybe? The thing is, like, Frantic actually is legitimately really good in the deck, because you get through your deck, find, install your cards, and there's really bad card draw in Anarch right now, not with the Heat Breakers, because if you inject these, you're fucked. I guess you retrieve one of them. Frantic Mopus plus Lamb seems good. I agree with that. I think Mopus and Lamb does a lot of pressure, and then maybe you could even run like Maxwell James. I guess Maxwell James and Lamb doesn't make sense. You only run once. Oh boy, didn't realize Lamb was 2. Yeah, Lamb is a couple MU. Yeah. If you haven't seen the interaction, it's really wild with Frantic Coding and Page Piper. So this was a really popular thing for a while. I actually at Worlds I played a Frantic Page Piper Frantic Coding deck. I barely remember that deck. I think it was heavily based on the Ben Nee list. But the idea with Page Piper, this is the first time you install a card, you may search your stack for any number of copies of the card and shuffle. So the idea is if you Frantic Coding, install your card first, you then shuffle your deck with the other 9 cards on top of it, and it stops you from trashing any other cards. Which is really good. It's really good. It means that you can play Frantic Coding against damage decks. It means you can play it against like Scorpios, and it means you won't mill your cards. And I think Frantic is also pretty good for this deck, considering it has so many 3-ofs, or Page Piper, sorry, is so good for this deck, considering it has so many 3-ofs that are useless, like all the programs and Spinal Modem, and to some extent, no, that's probably it, but like some value in there. But doing Mopus Lamb out of Shaper could be brutal remote lock deck. Yeah, that sounds good. Ju-On Archives makes returns so sad. Oh, Red Run? Yeah, Ju-On Archives you lose. Unless you get your Lamb out, you lose. And then you have to just like click to draw into your Lamb and install it. Ju-On is probably a fine card. It doesn't see enough play. It's kind of cool. Whew, Fossil. I guess I gotta plug this stuff, right? I'm good at self promotion, huh? There's a Twitter in that corner. We're on it. If you're on Twitter, follow it. I'll follow you back, I guess. I don't know how to. You meant to follow everyone back? I think so, right? We post things up there. Throw me deck lists when we stream at other times. That's a good place to be at. All right, so this always happens. We always end up playing against Titan Fast events. People love Titan Fast events. It's a really competitive deck. It makes fast games on Jinteki.net, and it feels really powerful. Doing well. And it's a really bad matchup for us. Because we have no burst multi-axis besides 2 Maker's Eyes, which actually might be better than indexing when it comes to Atlas tokens. They're on a 48 card deck, mind you. That's fun. And our setup is like very slow, very expensive, and we can't stop fast events. So this hand's actually really good because we can always do like Sure Gamble, Frantic, Dirty Laundry into Lame and actually be set up. This hand's really dope. I'm gonna keep this. I don't know if you have to. What are the 2 MUNR consoles nowadays? There's a bunch of them. You got Ma. I think Obelisk might be 2. There's like a lot. Almost all the new consoles have been 2MU. Maximum Sushi's a Frantic Omoba's expert. I don't have to follow everyone back. Yeah, I don't know how it works. All right, so we get no free card draw. We're actually pretty good against Wayland Ice, considering we can pressure them. We might actually want to just pressure this turn because they could be running Miramati, Ice Wall, stuff like that. Hortum is not that bad if we hit it. There's very little punishing ice. So I think we actually could just like run it and hit it. If we find it's an Ice Wall, we can jack out and just Dirty Laundry it. I think we want to put pressure on HQ. They kept their hand, so their hand probably has like 1 fast advance piece in it. We also want to find out if they're on Trick of Light as opposed to Biotic Labor. That's fine. Because if it is Trick of Light, we can trash their advanceable ice. So, fire. Let's run R&D. Hey, Katal deck, my favorite runner. Also, hello, Andre. Infect you. How's it going? Welcome back. Rashida Yahim, we're going to trash that. Now, we're going to do a bit of a risk here. They could consider running an Resing an Ice here on R&D. Wait, how do they have that many credits? Why do they have 6 credits? Did they sure gamble turn? Oh, they hedge fund turn 1. Okay, gotta pay attention. Because they could res here to stomp this. There's a chance that they can't res this. It looks like they can't. Maybe it's an Archer. Maybe it just is an Ice Wall and they don't want to do it with Quetzal. They should have done last run. It's an IP block, which we don't care about. We can break the trace. It's fine. We're Quetzal. No guts, no glory. Exactly. You gotta take your risks. So they can't Biotic out this turn for the Atlas. We'll keep the pressure on R&D. Good, too warm, but good. Oh man, I'm feeling you. It's way too warm here. Where are you situated? Montreal is like garbage. I'm gonna poke R&D first, then we can consider setting up. See if we want Morningstar or we want our Lamb. I think we always go for our Lamb though. And we don't have any card draw on this deck, which sucks. Woo! It's a Trick of Light deck. Fantastic. So we have to break that with Lamb, which is 7 credits. I guess we want to convert that. And it's actually a problem if they get their barriers to high strength, but they're down to 2 credits, so we need to find our things. We need to find our knives. We want to find our trashing stuff, so we're going to go Frantic. We hit same old thing, Lamb, Legwork, Inject, Dirty Laundry, Liberated, Retrieval Run, Frantic, Coding, and Knife. So we lost 1 knife, another Frantic Coding, and a single sable thing. We got our Lamb up, though. And we can run through this. It's going to cost us a lot of money, so let's not. And I think setting up the cast is probably fine, because they're not going that fast. Once we knife one of these, we're in such a good spot, especially when they paid 7 for this. I guess when we encounter, they still put counters on other things, which is an issue. But it looks like they're on Trick of Light, so we just got to trash literally everything. That's pretty good. And we have no Code Game Breaker, like no Black Orchestra, which again, you could just put in this deck and it'd be good. Oh, fuck, we just got Brian Stinson. I stopped playing around that card. God damn it, they went from 2 to 14. Ugh. Just because we installed this. I was like, there's no... Do people play that in Fast Advance decks? Oh, I feel really stupid. Okay, let's keep going. Retrieval Run gets us nothing. The Legwork is a good card. It's in our heap. The same old thing gets us Legwork and Knifed, which is okay. We want to build up a bit of our money here. If we install this, Brian Stinson's an issue, so we're just gonna not do that. We don't want to show the same old thing. I guess it makes our next turns easier, but whatever. Hamburg, Germany, it's supposed to be that warm. Isn't supposed to. It's even a little more north than Montreal. Ooh. Yeah, no one's ready for this. And it looks like they have a lot of money. They could also be on like Red Planet Couriers, but it's been a couple turns and they haven't done anything about HQ, so we could consider legworking in. Because they kept their hand. I don't know whether they keep just because of the single copy of a Dudedois, but this is definitely a spicy dumb brick. I agree with you. They can't fast events out next turn unless they Biotic. They could Shipment, but doesn't make that much sense. Maybe this card is good with Shipment because you don't want to run it. I don't know. Double same old thing is great. Because we can knife this and just go wild. I think we want to do that. If we want to do that, though, we want to make sure our economy is good. So the second install is pretty not important. And to knife this, it's like what? Fucking hell, it's expensive. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 credits, putting us down at like next turn at 4 or something. If we got our Morningstar out, it'd be pretty great. I guess we want to inject our Morningstar because then we break this for 1. Okay, well, we can obviously check that. This seems really suspicious. It makes them spend money on ice, but like we can easily get into here. This is really suspicious. I'm going to bite though. I think this is the first time I see face checking Titan actually hurt. The face check honestly didn't hurt that much. Like they ended the run and gained the credit. Advancing this once does nothing. What is this? Yeah. Why did they do that? That's terrifying. I'm going to just click for 3 credits here. Because I honestly don't know why they would do that. They could hit us with the baseball bat, which means they could trash any of these 3 cards. As long as we have 4 cards in hand, which is probably acceptable. They could C-source us into nothing of real value. A hard-hitting news, they would be spending more money than us, which is fine. Let me draw once. We don't even have I've had worse, which is... We probably should have I've had worse. Okay, let's keep our money up. Again, we're going to have more money than them next turn. Looks like that might just be a hostile. Giving us bad pub is really good. Oh, it's a standoff. Yeah, I'll trash this. Maybe they're just trashing that. Oh, yeah, of course they trashed Brian. So we could consider trashing the lamb, because then we can just retrieval run it back. I don't think we're going to need 2 retrieval runs. So it costs us 3 and a run. Do we want them to draw a card? This also might mean that they're on Archer or the other barrier. Battlement? No, wow. A Tithonium. They could just trash this one, so I think we have to end it here. Trashing the Brian means we don't have to play around it, but yeah, that's actually a really good trash. Yeah, I don't think we... This is probably good enough. They did draw there. They have 20 credits. I feel like money matters more in this deck, so I'm worried about things like hard-hitting news and C-source. Okay, so we could consider same old thing into knife. Again, this costs a lot of money. We don't have enough money in our deck, right? Like if we don't manually click to draw into our liberated accounts, we're going to look really silly when it comes to money. So if we want to get through this, we want a knife. The same old thing is 1 credit for the knifed. Then we have to boost, we have to commit, change, break. No, we got to find our Morningstar. We lose. Oh, that's actually an econ card. That's really good. That card's dead. So we can draw once more, play this and throw this out would be fine. And we actually found our money. That's really good for us. Oh, we have to throw out more than we thought. I honestly don't know how much value the Surfer is going to have. We have 2 more in the deck. And we have 2 retrieval runs, so I don't think we actually need it that much. It's good if they build a big remote, but they're likely to have barriers. If they put 2 goat gates, yeah, I guess we can always retrieval run for it. Yeah, they'll definitely just trash the ice. Could you explain how that 0-point agenda works? Yeah, sure. So they score this, and we can choose to trash one of our installed cards. And then if we do that, they can trash one of their installed cards, and it goes back and forth. And if the runner is the first one to chicken out, or not do it in the first place, the corp draws a card and gains 5 credits. So it's like gaining 3 and drawing a card. They installed before they drew, almost always a mistake. Nice Surfer Quetzal. Thank you. So we have enough money to recover here. I think actually we want to do same old thing knife this turn, just because they've been drawing a lot and they're looking to jam in the remote server. There's a chance we get 2 agendas here. I want to do it. We might want to do a bit more math calculations here, but this breaks and trashes their stuff. We still have enough money that hard-hitting news is an issue, and then we can run our HQ a couple times. It's a Helheim Cerberus. Holy shit. What's happening? Is this like a Twins combo deck? Is this a Grail deck? What's going on? This is wild. Atlas, fantastic. Very, very good. Very good that we got that. We're playing around Brian. We're playing around hard-hitting news. Let's go again. We're going to start next turn with 12 credits so we can jam down a liberated. There might be another agenda in here. This Panda Person is quite the odd deck. This is super weird. I can't get a read on it. There's the Veritas. That's an taxing enough piece of ice. And they seem to have a fair bit of ice. Like, how much better is this ice than the HB stuff that we're playing? Surprisingly a lot better. I don't know what that's about. It's a 1 influence card. Throwing away your hand might not be that bad. Maybe they want an Atlas token to have a 6th card to throw away. But at some point, they could be running a Brainstorm in here. There's a lot of scary stuff. They might have some really big ice, like a Chiashi, that we have to worry about. Okay. So as long as we have enough money, face check into anything is not that big of an issue. So we just got to make sure our money is good. We also want to find our Morningstar and our console. We found neither. Oh, we did. We can just throw that out, and next turn we can retrieval run it, and that's probably the best way. It'll be all our MU, so we can't surf until we find our console. Again, the card draw on this deck is not particularly good, so that might actually take a long time. Okay. Could be a 5-3. Could be a big Atlas. Could be an NGO front. I'll bite. So we get the Morningstar out for 3 credits. So it's very easy for us to do like liberated accounts. Stim hack this remote. Now there's a chance that there's 2 Kogates in a row we don't get in. Of course. But there's also a chance that we get in. We've seen so far 2 Kogates, so there's probably more barriers in their deck than anything else. We've seen 1 Veritas, which is probably this one on HQ. I think we'd give this one a shot. If it's an NGO front, we don't look too stupid. We always click for another 4. If we lose any of these cards, if we lose the same old thing, it's the worst one. We want to keep this one because it's another knife, let alone the legwork. Oh, fantastic. So we can either Quetzal this or Morningstar it. Quetzal seems fine. That's an archer, which is fine. It's 6 strength, which is kind of rubbish. So this actually doesn't save anything for them, so we got to make it a barrier. We got to bump strength perfectly up to 8 and break it for 2. It's honestly pretty good. We did that all for free considering we stim hacked. It's a food. Okay, so I think there might be on Sea Source Exchange. That would seem pretty good, and we're on 4 points. I think taking the money seems like the most important thing here, so we keep the credit differential up. And this server we get through relatively well. We lost our same old thing again. That was the worst thing we could have lost. And they're playing really well where they're putting their shitty ice in front of their big ice to plays around the knifed. This is a really bad server, though, for a surfer. And once we get a surfer out, we can run this relatively well. And they installed and drew after, which is, again, not something you want to do. And if we get through the server, it's cost us, what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get into that server, which is a bit expensive. But you'd always stim hack it, of course. Could be another Atlas. We've seen 2 Rashida. And the Helheim servers is actually the scary one. But if they trash their hand, this boosts strength relatively well. Let's see what we draw into. There's only 2 more Atlases in the deck. Not sure how concerned we have to be about that one. I want to find a surfer. Now we need to find our console. If we draw once, we have to discard a card. This levy is so useless. I don't know why we have this in the deck. There's no way we're going to draw through a deck. Retrieval run for surfer, then run. We're out of MU. These are both 4s. So we have to find our console or we have to trash one of these. If they get the Atlas, good for them. There's a big chance it's also another standoff. Also could be a Brian. 3S, we now need the server. Like, we need to draw on our console, which is luckily a 1 in 16. Also, Marcus Batty on a trash program subroutine is pretty rough, so we'll keep another retrieval run on hand. That's good. That's not good. What console you run? We're on Spinal Modem. We could just like knifed R&D. Just run R&D. We have 2 Maker's Eyes we haven't seen yet, right? Yeah. So what's the rest of our turn? Like, we might actually need this because we only have 14 cards left. Console. Shit. So we have to go down to 4 cards. So, like, there's not a lot we can do here. I think we'll just run HQ, maybe. We've seen a fair bit of agendas. We've seen 3 agendas. They have 24 cards left in their deck. All the talk and now you want Levy. Yeah, right? Man, if we just had good card draw, like an I've had worse would have saved us like a fair bit of clicks. Yeah, I think we throw out the retrieval run and just risk a Marcus Batty. Twins also could easily be a thing. And Twins is really good against Lamb. I'm going to click our credit. We could have just taken 4F liberated accounts. This plays a bit around about Caesar's closed accounts, which is probably wrong. I think you want to take the 4, specifically if we want to ever consider levying this game. Also, levy is like kind of a liability considering we're running 3 stim hack and our same old things are actually pretty taxed out. Haven't seen that one in a while. Is it even Quetzal's console lower-wise? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's anyone's consoles lower-wise. I think it's like Reina's console lower-wise, considering they came out like somewhat together. That server now looks rough. I hope we went off of R&D. Okay. All right, again, money's really tight. We get 2 recurring credits a turn, though, so we definitely want to run. Generally, we break 1 piece of ice for 1 credit, considering the Morningstar Lamb combo is dope. What is this? What is this? Price tags for days? I honestly have no idea what that possibly could be. We had 2 Maker's Eyes and 11 cards. We'll just run HQ. I think they jam anything in this remote. Smite Modem is Wizards? No, Wizards is actually Grimoire, considering Grimoire is like a wizard tome, no? Spinal might be noises. We could let this fire. I think we're just gonna go ahead and break it. Single run, C-Source. Okay, so we called that right. They're on C-Source Exchange. We ran this turn, so now money matters more than ever. They could be on Brian Stinson, Rashida Jones, but like that's a problem with this deck is our economy is really bad. We have played, there's 1 more Liberator in our deck, 1 more Gamble in our deck, 1 more Dirty Laundry, and that's it. We have to levy eventually. Also, we can take a brain damage, which is kind of funny. All right. Rashida Jones. Fuck, I keep doing that. I keep calling her the wrong name. Yeah, I'm going to call her Rashida Jones a heck of a lot. Quetzal's is Echo Mind. Oh, cool. Yeah, Shazner, what's up? Spot Reyna's deep red. Oh, yeah, Reyna's is 100% deep red. 100%. So now the problem is that they built this dope-ass remote. Is that every turn they can just jam a nice agenda in here. So I think we actually have to contest this. Now, the biggest issue is that if it's like a bunch of price X in a row, we lose all our same old things. We lose this, we probably lose the game. Yellow. Keep saying Rashida Jones. Zach, what's up? Got a singularity? No, we don't. Wizards is Grimoire. Wizards is definitely Grimoire. Turntable is noise. Yeah. Turntable is 100% noises. So we want to disassemble the remote and trash the defensive upgrades when there's no agenda in it. And now we can surf in through, right? So we can pay to surf this in. And we can break it for Quetzal, which is good. And now we can trash some of these things. Again, price X would be rough. It's an Oberth protocol. Holy shit. It's a Brian Stinson. No, thank you. It's another Oberth protocol? They're unique, though. Oh, wow. They actually are fast advancing. That worked better than we thought it would. So that's why they're on standoffs, to trash the Oberth. And they can advance to the ice walls. This is cool. Oberth is a cool card. That's a pretty cool card. Noise as DJ is not canon. There's so much art, though, of Noise DJing, Shazner. There's like a bunch of unpublished art with Noise DJing. If you check out Matt Zellinger's page. Garbage. Literally garbage. The problem is that we made the server really bad for Surfer. Echo Mind Bagbiter was fun for a while. Max's console? Yeah, I don't know if she has one. Yeah, actually Max is wearing like that sort of thing. She does have sort of like spinal implant things. Okay, they're on 3 agenda points. We got a bad pub. That's going to go a long way. We need a top deck our Maker's Eye. Damn, we need a top decker. Bah. All our Maker's Eyes are at the bottom. Okay, well, we're going to get cards out of our hand. We're just going to do R&D. If they don't res this, we trash that. We have another knife in hand, whatever. IP block. Fantastic. The first time you break all subroutines on a barrier during this run, we're not going to break all the subroutines. IP block, get wrecked. Get wrecked. We're going to trash a Doodadwa, which it will fire. You can fire the on encounter. Okay, nice. This does make them able to trick a light though, which is kind of rough, but so that's going to be make it the barrier, and then we're going to break it for 1. So we trashed it. Single axis though, kind of rough. Nice. Sea Source. Not that scared of that one anymore. And now R&D is falling apart, and luckily we have 2 Maker's Eyes on the bottom, but like they can now trickle light their last Atlas out. The thing is they're going to have a hard time scoring their last final point. Considering. What are they doing here? Credit? Ooh, credit. Ooh. Maybe she didn't dye her hair for the picture? Yeah, maybe she didn't. That also looks like she has more hair than normal. Okay, well, we need to get her economy down because it looks like they're really camping on the Sea Sorts exchange play, so playing this seems pretty good. If we play this, we go down to 13. If we take all the money off, it will be fine. We also don't have to run, so I think we can draw once there. We found the card we wanted, so now we can do this next turn. There's no point. We want a knife and archer. It's not our best angle. All right, they have 27. We have a Maker's Eye into take 8, which is probably fine because it's like gaining 6, putting us on 27. And it's funny. Actually, wait, the trace on this thing matters. Oh, no, because we break the trace. But the trace on that fires, we Spinal Mode him. It can be rough. So we're going to see 3 cards here. They could use their Atlas token if they wanted to, and we can still run HQ. So card from deck, that's a GFI, a Global Food. Card from deck and Atlas. It looks like it's the game. A good game. I don't know whether they're just clicking for credits there. Not a lot of options they had there. Like they need to do something because they eventually listed that and all their R&D cards at the bottom. Max is the Gmod, yeah. Damn, we're good. Do the finger guns. Yeah, that's actually a damn we're good run. If you run and hit 2 agendas in a row, that's damn we're good. Saw the JPEG with console plus idea a while back. Yo, actually, this is an art, man. So I clearly love Matt Zellinger's art. The intro to this stream is a Matt Zellinger art. I actually gotta tell him I did that. Maybe even ask for his permission on it because I don't think I did. I just took it. I hope he's okay with that. I credited it on him. But there's like this really dope art with noise, and it's nowhere. He has a cool shirt too. I actually kind of really dig that shirt. I'm not big on skulls, and the Killnet thing is great. I love this art. This art's fantastic, and this doesn't show up anywhere. It doesn't even show up. Like you see a bunch of these art that you might not recognize. These show up in New Angeles a lot of the time. A lot of these are New Angeles arts if you don't recognize them. Like this is in New Angeles representing the what's it called, Sunny's security, and there's also the like Russian, the Soviet Gagarin people are here somewhere too. I think this also one hasn't shown up anywhere. This one actually might be in that game. That game is actually pretty good. There's a Gagarin dude here somewhere, right? Pretty convinced there's a Gagarin dude. Oh, that's you. Yeah. I think his name's like it's not Yuri Gagarin. That'd be like way too on point. Marcello, what's up? Remember not to use spinal credits on the surfer. You can't? Can you not? Is it not using a program? I think you can. Melange. Yeah, Melange. What was I saying? I was saying Gagarin. Yeah, it's Melange. That's why it's not Yuri Gagarin. It's the Melange people. Excuse me. The Soviet moon mining. Global Sec Woman is awesome. Yeah, she's like fucking terrifying. Both of these two are really like pretty cool designs. That robot hand is dope. Legal advice to you is let him know and make sure he's cool with it. Okay, I appreciate that. I'll let him know. None of this stuff is monetized. If I was monetizing the channel, I'd 100% have to ask right away. But yeah, I should ask. Because I guess it also belongs to FFG and that might be a problem. Yeah, I probably am goofing it, huh? Oh, Surfer's not an icebreaker. Touche. Oh, some of that art is from Worlds of Android. That would make a lot of sense. I have that book. I don't think I've looked through all of it in a while. Cool. Thank you, Marcelli. I would have forgot that. Oh, shit. It's past midnight. Thanks so much for dropping by. Sorry that we didn't have like a thing planned for this deck tonight. We're gonna have much more stuff planned for the future, considering that the Kampala Ascendant came out this week, and it's crazy. Just to do a quick recap on the channel, we came out with our Whispers and Alibali Corp unboxing. Came out today. If you want to check that out, always love to hear what you think about the cards. Feedback is always great. Otherwise, big news in Netrunner this weekend is the European Nationals, which will be streamed. European Nationals will not have Kampala Ascendant legal, but check it out Saturday and Sunday. Or if you're going, best of luck too, by the way. Looks like a fun event. Next week also, I will be appearing at 7:30 Tuesday on Emergency Shutdown on Jamie's stream. We just played Jamie's deck, so I'll be there. If you want to drop by, should be fun. Not sure what we're doing yet. I think we're just playing decks and stuff. And on Thursday, Pat will be around for our stream, same time, same place. So thanks so much for dropping by. Really enjoy the time. I gotta crack up a window as soon as possible before I pass out. In America, at least making money is not the line for copyright infringement. Yeah, It's probably not the line, right? Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. Have a great week. Best of luck at Euros. Best of luck with the new pack. It's nuts. Have fun. Continentals. Have fun. Ciao.